He really did drop. He really did drop. Oh, yeah. A bunch.
You're gonna look forward to that.
Hey, just finished installing the update.
I heard they would sell some at the conference in Canada. Yeah.
It's smaller, but anyway, go ahead and get it.
Could I do the same?
Yeah, well, it can if it needs to. All right, I'll leave you alone. Good?
Yes, sir. Call me if you need something.
Good evening. How are you?
We're going to call this regular meeting to order. Mr. Viznow is going to lead us in the pledge. I'm going to lead us in the prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father, we pray and ask that you watch over us this day, Father God, that you give us guidance and wisdom, Lord, that you touch upon the crowd, touch upon our families that are represented here, touch upon this city, that even if we disagree, we may come into agreement for the common good of our city, to help it grow, prosper, and be the example throughout the state of Louisiana. Lord, I pray and ask that you watch over my colleagues, that you give us sound judgment, sound wisdom, and understanding. Give us a listening ear that we may make the right decision. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Miss Renee.
Mr. Bilbo,
Here.
Mr. Young,
Here.
Mr. Harvey,
Here.
Mr. Marks,
Here.
Mr. Vizino,
Here.
Mr. Fondell, and Mr. Weatherford.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I want to take a little time at the beginning. As you can see, you can look around and see we pretty crowded in here today. So I'm gonna ask that we follow decorum of the city council. If you come up here to speak, direct all your questions and comments to the council. We're not gonna talk back and forth between clients and from the audience. And I would ask that you respect that as we go forward. The first thing we're gonna do, let me do the deferments. We're deferring number 13, number 19, and number 22 till June 17th, 2026. 13, 19, and 22 till June 17th, 2026. And we're deleting number 18. Deleting number 18. Please vote on the minutes, previous minutes.
7-4.
Okay, at this time, if there's no objections, I'd like to move number 8 up to the top of the list, and we discuss that first. Any objections? Public hearing and consideration of the public hearings. Public hearing and consideration of the Lake Charles Planning and Zoning Commission's decision to deny a request for a variance in order to construct a new addition United Way. 1, construction of single-story building versus required 2-story. 2, allow channel letters and a 6-inch logo, thereby exceeding the allowable 3-inch in height or 3 foot in height within a T5 Urban Center Transect zoning district at 815 Ryan Street.
Mr. Marks, I think it was a 6-foot logo. Just
This is 6 foot. I said what? 6 inch? Yeah, 6 foot logo. All right.
Big difference.
They're nervous with this big crowd. So,
Mr. President, I'm going to be brief. I know there's a lot of people that want to speak this evening. This item is before you on an appeal. The Planning Commission considered this application for these 2 variances for the United Way building to be constructed on Ryan Street. 1-story versus 2-story, and again, the channel letters that you just mentioned. The testimony was heard by the commission, considered the testimony for and against, and voted against the project, the variances by a vote of 4-0.
Just want to be clear, the vote was 4-0 against.
Against, that's correct. So this application is before you on an appeal, just as it was presented to the commission.
Okay. And if I understand correctly, Mr. Begaris, the application has to come back as it went to planning and zoning, correct?
You're voting on it just as it was presented to planning and zoning.
Okay.
It hasn't changed or been modified.
Okay. Virginia Webbs?
I think that's an opponent. I think you may want to have, I don't know which order you want to go.
Oh, we need to have, my bad. We
Opponents.
need United Way representative.
Yes.
Mr. Lofton,
Members of the council, if
state your name and address for the record.
Billy Lofton, representing United Way, we would ask that our director be allowed to speak first, and then one of the board members, and
That's
then I'll
fine.
come do my presentation.
Good afternoon. Thank you so very much for allowing us to be with you today.
State your name and address for the record.
Denise Durrell, 815 Ryan Street, Lake Charles. And I am the vice president, the president and CEO of United, I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
All right.
The president and CEO of United Way of Southwest Louisiana, and we greatly appreciate the opportunity to bring our application on appeal with you here today. As many of you may know, United Way has actually been in the downtown city of Lake Charles for 86 consecutive years. And I would think that the only two organizations or businesses that have outlived us in downtown is actually the city of Lake Charles and probably Calcasieu Parish. We are 100% committed to our region, and we do believe that it's imperative that we be located in the downtown district, as many of our other United Ways are nationwide, because it makes us centrally located. It allows people to have the opportunity to have transportation, and it really allows us to have central services, so to speak, so that we can serve our community. When you look at our history in downtown Lake Charles, we have actually been located in the old Association of Commerce building. I don't know if anybody remembers that place. And then we spent some time at the old Majestic Hotel before we moved to an office on Pujo Street. And then in 1981, we were extremely fortunate that the Fair department store location at 715 was donated to us. And then as we began to grow and service more and more people, we saw the need to move. And so in 2016, we actually purchased our current property at 815 Ryan. Currently, we are in a 2-story building that is 100% compliant with the SMART code. And I'm happy to say that we have been there 10 years, and through the wise investment of not only our board, but our donors, we are now mortgage-free. We have paid that building off in full in half the time that we were allotted to do so. So with that being said, just proves the commitment that we have to not only this community, but to downtown as well. So we are here to stay. We don't have any plans to relocate anywhere. We know that this is the best place that we can and will serve our community. So thank you very much. And I would like to invite one of our board members who's with us today to share her experience with about United Way.
Marcy Bradley, 5721 Hemlock Street, Lake Charles, LA, 70605. Like she mentioned, I'm on the board of directors. I actually recently joined the executive committee this past year. I work for Westlake Chemical. I'm a chemical engineer. I graduated from McNeese. I've actually lived in the area my entire life. My United Way journey didn't start when I joined Westlake. It actually started in high school. I received the Southwest Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame Award. And it was sponsored by United Way. And that's kind of where my journey with United Way started. My older sister worked for Citgo, and she was involved with United Way, so my intriguement kind of continued throughout. When I started work at Westlake, I knew immediately that I wanted to donate my money to United Way. But donating money and donating time are two different things. And so I joined the committee, and then I worked my way up, and I actually was the campaign chair 2 years back to back, and then I joined the board of directors, and then, like I mentioned, I'm on the executive committee as well. I live in south of town. I actually grew up in Sulphur. I graduated from Lacassine, so downtown was not like a central area that I spent a lot of time in until United Way. I come for a meeting at least once a month. I was actually here yesterday for an event that we were doing, literacy kits, where we put those together because we try and do many events. I attend several meetings, being on different committees and then just doing different events along with, their three big events are Smoke and Barrel, Battle for a Paddle, and then the Dolly Run, which are all hosted downtown. And what that does is that gets the community here. So it might not increase nightlife, but what it does is you have meetings where you have people who come and they eat lunch here. You have events where they come and they do shopping. There's many times that I'll come to a meeting early and go shopping. So I just, having all of that, it may not increase nightlife, but you're getting all kind of different people here that may not always spend their time downtown. And so United Way does so much good for this community, and I've been able to see that from the time I was 17 years old to now being 31, and I just want to be able to help continue to watch them grow and help our community because I love Southwest Louisiana. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Billy Lofton, 113 Dr. Michael DeBakey Drive, and I represent United Way. First of all, I have time, I think, that's been allotted to me from 5 different people. And then with my 3 minutes, I would ask that I have a presentation and then reserve some time for rebuttal in the event that some of the opposition brings up an issue.
Well,
We
I'll
do
tell
have a
you this,
12-minute limit, Mr. Law.
Okay.
Yeah.
12-minute limit, but you'll be able to do the rebuttal.
Okay, great. So I'd like to reserve some time. Don't let me go beyond 6 or 7 minutes,
keep you
Mr.
straight.
Stoops. I put a package in front of all of you that I'll refer to. All of the items in there are numbered. And so members of the council, in connection with this application, I represent United Way, and as Mr. Berger stated, we're simply asking for a single story versus a 2-story, and to increase the size of the logo and the lettering to 6 feet versus the 3-foot requirement currently in the SMART code. Our application is set forth in the package that I gave you and labeled as UW1. Now, let's start off by looking at what we're asking for here. If y'all would look at the screen, I don't know if you have it in front of you, but we have the overhead view with the layout of the proposed development. If you switch to slide 2, that's some more detailed drawing of the various rooms and the footprint inside the new building, with the new building being in yellow on the left. If you'll switch to the 3rd slide, you'll see what the front rendering of the new building looks like, with the left side of that building being the proposed new development, which is, once again, an addition to the existing building, which is fully compliant, and that is on the right side of that image there. We'd ask that you go to the next slide. Might be the separate file called Street View. We thought that it was important to provide this view to the council because what it does is it shows the front elevation of the buildings, as you can see there on the far end, which you just saw from a straight-on perspective, in line with the streetscape, including the B1 bank building. The reason that we think that's important is because of, and by the way, those images are all as UW2 in that package that I gave you. So the reason that that's important is because all that we're really asking the council to do is to just give us the same variances that were given to Bank One. It's just that simple. They had the exact same request to be a 1-story with a nice facade on the front street to give the effect and the look of the SMART code, and to change the size of the lettering. That was done and approved by the DDA in 2022. And then by the Planning and Zoning Commission also in 2022. They later came back to the council just 24 months ago and got another variation for the signage that allowed for multiple signs that were not consistent with the smart code, and also to do in-sign lighting versus uplighting on those signs. And the council approved that in 2024. That is listed as U3 in your package, just for reference if you want to see the various approvals that have been made. We're not asking you to deviate. We're just asking you to be consistent. The United Way is a good partner with the community. We're just asking for the same exception or variances that were granted to Bank One. We support the smart code. We're not in here to say that the smart code is a bad thing. We just do not believe that rigid application of the smart code is in the best interest of our community or our downtown. We think that rigid application is deterring development downtown. I've heard various councilmen and other people talk about how it's important to support your Planning and Zoning Commission. I see some of the members here today. I respect the Planning and Zoning Commission. They do an excellent job. However, as the elected officials that supervise and hear the appeals of the Planning and Zoning, I think that it's important that y'all keep the Planning and Zoning consistent. They've approved the B1 variances, and all we're asking is for the same thing. It can't be different. That deters development. If a developer comes in thinking, I'm going to be able to do this, they've approved that, and then they have to go see an architect. We're on, if this is not approved by the council, we'll be on our third round with the architects. Developers don't want to come in and pay soft costs associated with developments of doing 3 and 4 renderings to finally figure out what's right. They want certainty, and they want to know what is going to be expected of me in this community. Or they're going to go do it somewhere else. So let's not deter that. I'm here to tell y'all that the smart code is good, but let's be a little more flexible with it. There are many reasons that the smart code cannot be rigidly or strictly complied with. It has to align with market demand and population density. It has to remain smart. The smart code has to be smart. It can't be over-regulation. That's not good for the community. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have the vacancies and lack of foot traffic that we have. You can look at the buildings downtown. We can see them from here. We're talking about Bank One. The former location that it was in, still vacant. Zephyr's, still vacant. I don't need to point it out to you. Y'all are councilmen, you know. There's too much vacancy down there, okay? After 20 years, we still have those persistent vacancies. We have low foot traffic, and we rely on events. We rely on events to create traffic downtown. The key authors and planners all recognize that you can't zone your way into this. They recognize that the following things, that actual demand is necessary for the smart code to work. Jeff Speck, well-recognized author and planner, and I even see some of the opposition with Jeff Speck books right out here. He even acknowledges that there has to be actual demand for the smart code to work. Andres Dewani, the designer who helped us with this smart code back in 2006, he says that phasing and market realism should be emphasized over ideal design. We have to recognize these things, guys. We have to look at what we even have, the plan that we have. Now, I did not put this in all of y'all's package because 2 reasons. It has a picture of me in the second page that looks like I'm about 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And it was 20 years ago, and because it's 28 pages. But I do have one in Renee's package. And while I'm thinking about it, Renee, I'd ask that that be made part of the record, all of the exhibits that I just referred to, as well as this. In this charrette report done by Mr. Dewani that we adopted, the code and plan can later be adjusted based on direct practical experience. Even the planners that created this contemplated change. There's a picture of you in here too, Stuart, as well as you, Mayor. So we have to recognize that. That's what we're working under. We're working under a smart code that we adopted, but let's keep it smart. It's not smart if we don't recognize changes. Here we are 20 years later. We have to look at the smart code. We have to recognize that it's good, but rigid application is a deterrent to development, okay? This smart code is just a tool. It's a tool for us. It's not a guarantee that this is going to happen down here. We may have this idea of what we want, but it might not be working, and we have to make adjustments, and even the planners and the experts in this field recognize that. Let's work with the tools that we have, and let's recognize their limitations. And we just ask that y'all be consistent and grant this variance to the United Way, one of the strongest partners that y'all have and one of the longest occupants of downtown. Thank you very much, and I'd reserve any extra time I have for rebuttal.
Thank you, Mr. Lofton. Any questions for Mr. Lofton from the council? Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to read into the opposition first. Well, let me do this first. These are all the people who don't wish to speak but want to be made a matter of record that they're in opposition. Donna Richard, Virginia Webb, William Vaughn, Amy Monk, William Monk, Chiki Chapman, Shelley Young, Jacob Raftery, Savon Sonye, William Vaughn. All of those people are in opposition. We have a letter from Miss Rayani Vaughn, 2709 Todd Jude Road. Dear Councilman, I am writing to respectfully express my strong opposition to the United Way zoning variance request scheduled for consideration at today's meeting. Although I do not reside in the downtown district, I am a frequent patron of the area and actively support many of the small businesses that contribute to its character, economic vitality, and appeal to both residents and visitors. These businesses bring unique activities, services, and ideas that help sustain a vibrant downtown environment. In contrast, United Way's proposed development, as described by their representative, appears to offer little added value to the district beyond development for the sake of development. Development without meaningful benefit risks displacing opportunities for small businesses that rely on visibility and foot traffic to generate revenue. During the April 13th zoning meeting, a board member suggested a reasonable compromise, constructing a two-story building and leasing the ground floor to a small business to help offset increased construction costs. United Way's representative stated that this was not feasible due to funding limitations. However, their submitted site plan indicates an intention to renovate their existing building as part of the project. If funding is the barrier, why not redirect a portion of the donated funds toward the additional cost of a two-story structure? Another viable option is the two-story building they already own at 314 Broad Street, which they previously sought to demolish. Renovating that property, rather than allowing it to remain unused, would seem to be a more reasonable investment of donated resources. If the organization was aware from the beginning that the property could not meet building codes or zoning requirements without variances, it raises the question of why the property was purchased in the first place. While United Way's proposed facility may serve a worthwhile purpose, I do not believe downtown is the appropriate location, particularly if no compromise can be reached that also supports the city's economic goals and the needs of local businesses. The SMART Code was created specifically to encourage development that balances community benefit, economic opportunity, and responsible land use. A nonprofit whose mission emphasizes strengthening community resilience should be willing to engage with residents, listen to concerns, and work towards solutions that benefit all stakeholders. Instead, their representatives argue that variances should be granted simply because similar requests have been approved in the past does not reflect thoughtful consideration of the community's needs or the intent of the zoning ordinances. Regarding the request for a 6-foot sign, which is double the permitted height, the proposed design is inconsistent with the aesthetic character of downtown and would detract from the area's visual appeal. City council decisions have a lasting impact on the quality of life, economic health, and long-term development of our community. I respectfully urge you to prioritize the concerns of your constituents and vote against United's Way appeal for these zoning variances. Thank you for your time, your service, and your consideration of these concerns. Sincerely, Rayananon Vaughn. Lauren Harrell. State your name and address for the record, please.
Lauren Harrell, 725 Ford Street. Good afternoon. I'm here as a citizen of the downtown area and as a licensed architect with an advanced degree in historic preservation. Before returning to Lake Charles, I worked for the state of Texas teaching communities about preservation tools and techniques. Since my return, I have served as a consultant to the city and other citizens for multiple historic preservation projects. So I am an expert in this. The United Way, I mean, I'm not opposed to United Way in downtown, I'm fine with that. But the United Way development as proposed would be a missed opportunity on a prominent site in downtown Lake Charles. By applying our codes and ordinances that call for appropriate downtown and pedestrian-friendly development, the city can prevent variances that undermine the purpose of the codes and degrade the downtown area. The proposed one-story, minimally active office space is not the greeting that I would recommend for our downtown area. The codes and guidelines for our historic downtown require true two-story development, not only for visual continuity, but also for developing the walkable nature of the street. This is why making it look like a two-story space does not fulfill the purpose of the code. Walkability is extremely important to the economic development of the city and particularly to downtown. The purpose of a variance is to provide relief when a requirement makes a site unusable. For example, if you have a small triangular site and the setbacks make what's left unusable, that's a great reason for variances. Variances are not intended to allow citizens to circumvent the code when they are inconvenient. The code is easily and fairly applied on this site, and there is no reason for a variance. The site can be suitably developed within the framework of our codes. Again, a simple solution would be to construct an actual two-story building as required and use the first floor space along Ryan Street as a leasable space for a use that contributes to the viability of downtown. A common misstatement about these types of codes is that they limit economic development, and nothing could be further from the truth. There are plenty of studies proving that they encourage economic development because citizens are assured that their investment will be protected through consistent expectations and quality of development. Continually giving variances is not a consistent expectation. A consistent expectation is what's in the codes. And if you look at the codes prior to your development, you don't have to go back to your architect 3 times. Allowing the project to proceed as proposed would be short-sighted and demonstrate a disregard for the plans and guidelines funded through years of grants and tax dollars in the city. We have already missed several opportunities in the downtown area in the recent past. Please do not contribute to the continued degradation of what gives Lake Charles a sense of place and maintains its authenticity.
Thank you, ma'am. Anna Crawford. And I'm gonna take the liberty of announcing the next name, so if y'all stuck in the middle somewhere, you can start moving as we go. Melissa Buxton. Go ahead. State
I
your name and
apologize
address
for
the
that
record.
journey.
No problem.
Anna Crawford, 727 and a half Ryan Street.
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing prepared to say, so this is going to come straight from my heart. If I go over time, if there's anybody who wants to donate a couple of minutes to me, I'll take it. I approached this as a resident of 24 years downtown. Matter of fact, I didn't realize I could see my window from here. 24 years ago, when my sweetheart Johnny said, "Come on, I got a place for us to go look at," I had no idea where we were going. And I knew when we walked in that we weren't leaving, and I'm still there. He's gone to heaven 6 years ago, and I still grieve him. If he were here, he would say, "This is funny because really, this downtown issue thing, it's our downtown." And this parking lot is our parking lot. He knew every homeless person there was in a 3-mile radius. He would go ride his bike, he'd go visit the homeless, and he would leave things for them. We watched our grandkids grow up riding bicycles and tricycles and whatnot in the parking lot. If you ask my grandkids, who does that parking lot belong to? They would proudly say, well, that's Lala's parking lot. That's her spot. That's where she parks. So with that, I'll say I'm grateful to Sherman Properties for 22 years of allowing us to park there, and for the last 2 years to United Way for allowing us to park there. Through the years, I have seen almost everything you could see in a parking lot. When people think that you can't see them, you can see them. God's watching. And unfortunately, there wasn't many times when I felt like I had to call the cops, per se. But it gave you an opportunity, gave me the opportunity to pray for probably a lot of you here. Because when you see people come in and out with families and having gone drinking and whatnot, it offers an opportunity to pray for that father, that boyfriend, the mother with the kids, calling the kids. There's a whole vibration from that parking lot. I don't know yet what's the outcome of it, because the first phase of proposition included a parking lot, I thought. And I thought, okay, good. They're going to have a parking lot. Maybe it'll be available to the public as well, even if it's for pay. People would park to keep from having to walk. We're not used to that around here, if you hadn't noticed. I want us to find a united way of making this happen somehow, some way. I just don't see that it's going to be taking away 37 to 50 parking spots that are needed. Not to say that we won't find a way to make it happen, because we're survivors.
Mr. President, time of the ladies expired.
How many more minutes you need?
Maybe one.
Okay, please vote to give her 1 more minute.
7-4.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we can find a way to make this happen. When I counted on one of the most filled times of the parking lot being full, I want to say I counted about 38, 39, and that wasn't counting all the ones around the back and along the side. But we do need parking. And I'm supposing when United Way's building is finished, they're going to allow for that somehow. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet again. Maybe they will. But I'm telling you, we do need the parking. The suggestions that have been made are far away. They don't seem it to some people, but to others it is. And when you come downtown to eat, and our neighbors who have taken care of me, by the way, the businesses around here, they are my family, and they take care of me. Let's just find a way of doing it if we can. I think they have good reason, good nature. I don't want to say anything ugly about them. That's not my place. But I think we can find a way, a united way of making this happen to where it works for everybody. Thank you for your time and your extra minute.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Buxton. Next up, Leslie Fain.
Melissa Buxton, 729 Ryan Street. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Thank you for allowing all of us to be here. My name is Melissa Buxton, and I'm the owner of Buck's Cajun Corner in historic downtown Lake Charles. I'm here tonight to ask one simple question. What kind of downtown are we trying to build? Are we building a downtown that encourages walkability, vibrant storefronts, thriving small businesses? Or are we creating a downtown where the rules only apply to some while others use their influence to avoid them? Downtown is not just a collection of buildings, it's a community. For those of us who own businesses here, downtown has become a family. We celebrate each other's successes, we support one another through hardships, we know each other's spouses, children, brothers, sisters, parents, and even some grandparents. When one business struggles, we all feel it. This sense of community is what has allowed downtown to survive hurricanes, economic uncertainty, and years of rebuilding. Since the parking lot at Ryan and Broad were suddenly closed, our businesses have all experienced a dramatic decline in sales. Customers are confused, foot traffic is down, Small businesses that already operate on very thin margins are being harmed. We, downtown, will adapt, as this is so much more than just a single parking lot. We will continue to serve our customers. What is deeply troubling and hard to explain to our customers is that a nonprofit organization whose mission is to improve the lives would knowingly take actions that negatively impact the livelihoods of these local families. What message does that send? And what message does it send when the Board of United Way Southwest Louisiana includes respected community leaders and elected officials such as the sheriff, district attorney, tax assessor, and others who are entrusted with serving the public interest? We continue to hear that because B1 Bank received variances, United Way should receive them automatically as well. As a mother, that argument reminds me of things that I taught my children growing up. Don't worry about what your brother does or your sister does. Worry about yourself. That's where the focus should be. Each project must stand on its own merits. And yes, there's an important distinction. B1 has truly tried to become a partner downtown. They are employees shop in our stores, they eat in our restaurants, sponsor our events, and actively support our small businesses. They do contribute to the vitality of downtown. No one here opposes United Way's mission, and we do greatly appreciate the important work that they do. But this issue is whether a proposed development aligns with the vision established for an historic downtown Lake Charles. The SMART Code was adopted to ensure that downtown remains walkable, mixed use, and economically vibrant. It was designed to prevent single-purpose developments that reduce street activity, limit engagement, and weaken the interconnected ecosystem that makes downtown successful. When the exceptions are granted that undermine those principles, it sets a precedent that threatens the future of downtown if we allow developments that do not meet these standards that we have established.
Mr.
Then
President,
SMART
time has
Code,
expired.
You need 1 minute to finish?
1 minute, probably 45 seconds.
Please vote for 1 minute.
7-4.
Thank you. If the rules are not applied consistently, the vision for downtown loses integrity. And if influential organizations can bypass those standards, small business owners are left wondering whether the investment of our time, money, and our heart truly matters. We're not asking for special treatment. We are asking for equal treatment. We are asking that the same standards apply to everyone, and we are asking you to protect the vision of a downtown where businesses, nonprofits, residents, and visitors all contribute to a thriving and connected community. Please stand with the small businesses and families who have invested their livelihoods in historic downtown Lake Charles. Protect the SMART Code, protect the integrity of downtown, and protect the community we have worked so hard to build. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Fain? She's gone? Oh. And John Patrick, I can't make out the last name. Will be next. Webb, I think it is. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Hi, thank you.
State your name and address
Oh,
for
I'm
the
sorry. Leslie Fain, and my address is 1215 Kirkman Street. I live downtown. One of the major reasons that I think that the city council that I ask you to uphold the Planning and Zoning Board's recent decision to refuse the variances is that, one, it was a unanimous decision by the Planning and Zoning Board. So this was 4-0. And the people on that board are well-respected people in our community. They were chosen for the Planning and Zoning Commission because of experience and the reputation they have. And it just seems if you were to vote down what they voted for, it's almost like a huge vote of no confidence for our Planning and Zoning Commission, and I think that would be a real shame for Lake Charles and for downtown. So that's the first thing. The second thing, as I stated in the Planning and Zoning meeting when I spoke, I'm sorry, I can't read my handwriting. So when the City of Lake Charles invited Jeff Speck to come speak, he's a celebrated urban planner and author. It really opened my eyes to the potential of downtown Lake Charles. I mean, I've always been a huge downtown fan. I mean, I wanted to live here. over 20 years ago when my husband and I moved here and we were newly married, and he was going to be deployed to Iraq. And I mean, I wanted to live downtown. This is where I wanted to be, and I have not regretted it one moment. My kids have grown up here. My husband works here. And so it really opened my eyes to what the downtown could eventually be, not just how good it is now. So according to Jeff Speck, making the city more walkable can make the city more aesthetically pleasing, safe for pedestrians and cyclists, more viable for businesses, and more attractive to tourists. I mean, we all know how it is. Ugh. Does anybody want to give me some time after we all know, like, how when we go to other cities like Fairhope and Savannah and places like that, the things that you love when you walk around, and you want that for Lake Charles. And I think that, it's kind of it's ambitious, but, you got to start, that's how dreams are, come to fruition, is having a big dream and ambition. So anyway, Jeff Speck said the key to having a walkable downtown is in the City of Lake Charles Smart Code. So if I had known then what I know now about this, I would have been at every meeting where a business, sorry, I know B1's been great for some of the businesses downtown, but had I known that, I would have been at every meeting.
The time has expired, Mr. President.
You need another minute?
Yes, if you don't mind, thank you.
Can we vote for another minute? Please vote.
So
7-4.
So I would have been at every meeting opposing it had I known. So, and I believe that that's probably true of a lot of people in Lake Charles. They either don't know about it, about walkability in the smart code, or they're just finding out about it, and they're excited about it. So I want to bring up one more point about the lack of support. I live downtown. I've lived here over 20 years. I talk to people who like the idea of walkability and the smart code. I live here. I talk to these people. I don't know where the lack of support idea is coming from, but it's not from the people I talk to, the business owners, my neighbors that I talk to about it. And I just want to point out, it's great how many people I see here tonight, but I know very few people in this audience, and I've lived here over 20 years. So I'd like to know where all this support against walkability and smart code is coming from. And then is another thing about the lack
expired, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Does anybody else want to give me a minute?
We'll vote for one more minute. What's your name? Okay, Mr. Webb. You want to donate your time to her? Okay, Mr. Webb, donating the time to her.
Thank you. I
She's at
appreciate that.
5 minutes
So,
and counting.
I'll try to be quick. So a couple more things along those lines. Along the mention of rigidity, okay? Well, one person's rigidity might be another person's wholehearted support. So I think being excited about something that has potential to really help downtown is not rigidity. I think that like I said, I think that could be a passionate love of downtown and wanting to see it prosper. And it's, again, along the same lines with the lack of support, some of our most interesting buildings downtown in recent years, Erdes, the Phoenix building, the Sanchez Law Firm, and I'm probably leaving out some other buildings. Some of our most beautiful new buildings were built according to the smart code. So, I mean, it works. It adds to downtown, and I don't think it's deterring anything.
Time has expired.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Those are all the oppositions. These are the ones in favor that want to be on the record. Penny Seneca, Jennifer Berry, Dustin Abshire, Rebecca Stockman, Van Seneca, Ray Zombrecker, Hunter Graham, Megan Daigle, Lori Morrison, Ashley Surratt, Morgan Clayton, Christina Lebitt, Uraine Surratt, Harley Ashworth, Kevin Lacey, Timothy Newsom, Charles Clayton, Jessica Lacey, Lorena Caesar, Billy E. Lofton, Tammy Christop, Ashley Norman, Jennifer Demas, Kimberly Heckert, Shamika Lamel, Patience Frederick, Alicia Johnson, Laurie Morton, Chip Morton, Catherine Thevenot, Casey Patrick, Serena Clooney, Rebecca Ainsworth, Jacob Johnson, Autumn Johnson, Robin Oxley, Nikayla Thomas, Justin Keys, David Stutes, Brittany Akers, Skylar Hossier, Kelsey Talbot, Missy Amadon, Jessica Saxby, Terry Johnson, Jonathan Johnson, Treviga Namer, Leandra Hardy, Kiara Moss, Chet Vellion, Bethany Rolax, Paul Lionby Lembury, Kevin Romers, Tanya Poussin, Aaron Chestnut, Bonnie Bronner, Anna Raspberry, Keith Fall, Jason Martinez, Cheryl Piper, Diane Mueller, Angela Ellender, Eartha Guidry, Tina Collins, Tyra Ross, Paula Kuntz, Christian Nelson, Gay Gibson, Carol Mack, Jason Ponder, Bradley Stevens, Manina McGill, Wendy Johnson, Murtaza Khan, Phyllis Lofton, Melanie Holly Jr., Jan M. Haley. That's it. All those are in support. Those that wish to speak, Marcy Bradley. You already spoke? All right. Rosalind Simeon. You want to speak or you just want it to be on the record? All right. Denise Durrell, she's already spoke. Okay, Mr. Lofton.
Thank you so much. Members of the council, I would like to offer and introduce into the record of these proceedings all of the people that submitted cards. If y'all are okay with it, I'd also like for everyone that's here in favor of the United Way application to stand. If you're in favor of United Way, please stand. Show your support to the council. Thank you. Members of the council, the opposition here today seems to be conflicting. The people that are arguing about the code talk about walkability. Many of the businesses here, though, are really talking about a parking lot. That is simply a liability issue. We don't know what the long-term plan is for that. However, unlimited use by the public is not in the plan right now. Ultimately, there's going to be a development there regardless of whether it's code compliant or has some variances to it. So I think that the gist that I would like for the council to get out of this is that the opposition is conflicting. They really want drivability, not walkability, because I think a lot of the opposition is driven by this parking lot, and that's not an issue before y'all tonight. And I would ask that you take that out of the decision because that's not part of this process or part of this application. I'd also like for y'all to consider the fact that United Way, we've got a ballpark estimate to do the second floor and to do something that is smart code compliant. It's going to cost an additional $2.5 million, and I'm ballparking, so I'm not asking y'all to, please don't hold me exactly to that number, but that's $2.5 million that we can put in the community towards our mission. Anyway, we do not oppose the planning and zoning. We're just asking that y'all as the elected officials just please make them be consistent, and that's all that we ask for. We appreciate everything that y'all do for our community, and thank you for your consideration. And if y'all have any other questions for me, I'm available.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I said that it sounds like the building's going to be built one way or the other, and I understand there's extra. I assume that you're going to be, by doing the second story, you're going to maintain the current footprint, which means you're going to add additional square footage. Is there, why wouldn't it make sense to build, if you need X square feet, well, I'm going to say 20,000 square feet, just to pick a number, why not build a two-story 20,000 square foot building instead of a one story that's 20,000 square feet plus whatever the second story will be. Just comply with the code and build the size building that you need.
And I think that if you're ready for me to answer,
Yeah, no, I
that
am,
some of
yeah.
your assumptions are just incorrect, Mr.
Okay.
Weatherford. We would shorten the depth of the building, we would shorten that and bring some of the square footage to the top. And essentially, what would happen is we would end up spending 2.5 million extra dollars. And so that's the answer. It's an additional cost, and it can be done. We're asking for a variance because we just want consistent treatment. We had some of the opposition come up here and just say, we just want to be treated equally. Well, that's all we want. We're not asking for special treatment. We just want to be treated equal. And so that's the answer to your question.
So it's going to be, it's not going to be, probably it's not going to be a significant amount of more square footage. It's just that it costs more to build a
No, it's
two-story
not.
building.
It's going to be the same square footage, just moved up. It's not going to be as deep, and it's going to cost approximately, I don't have a hard number, but it's going to cost a couple $1 million more that could be used towards our mission.
Okay, Mr. Lofton, if we need you, you be ready to come back up?
I'm ready to go. You
All
let
right.
me know what I need.
Before, I would like to take this opportunity to bring Mr. Begares back up before we hear from the councilman. Mr. Begares, is this an accurate depiction of how it would look?
That's for the applicant to determine. Based on what he's presenting, you can say the building has to take on this look and this feature as a condition of whatever, but that's for the...
So is that, based upon what you know, is Bank One a true depiction in this picture?
My opinion is yes. It is very, very close.
Okay. Mr. Lofton, if you don't mind coming back.
Yes, sir.
This picture that you're showing us is what you plan to do now without the second story?
That is correct. That is the application. It is, I think, my UW number 1 attachment to my package that I gave you. It also, we have, that's the streetscape that shows you in connection with the B1 building, but there's also the first page, I think, no, the third page, D3. If y'all don't mind, on the IT guys, if y'all would show me D3, which is the third page on the first exhibit. That's the front elevation of what we're requesting and the side elevation, the north elevation.
So the addition is from the tan portion?
Correct, almost the center of the building. And you can see the right side is a true compliant smart code 2-story. And to the left is the variance that we're asking for that has the higher facade like Bank One. And it appears as if it's a 2-story, but it's not a true 2-story. That's what the variance is for, and that's what it will look like.
Okay.
And the side view depicts from the north, it still gives a two-story appearance from the north side if you look at that elevation.
So, well, the thing that makes this not smart code is the second floor.
That it does not have that
Yeah.
true 2-story, exactly like the B1 building.
In the logo, right?
Oh, and the logo, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Lofton? Mr. Harvey?
Do I see it?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. For starters, I have two questions for clarification. One, it was stated several times that the council actually voted to, I don't want to keep saying the name of the establishment, but to the building adjacent to your current establishment. That is not true, just for the record. That was voted and cleared in planning and zoning. That actually never came before the city council. So I know it's been stated several times tonight that the city council actually approved the B1 Bank, approved the B1 Bank building. That's not true. We only approved the signage. So I just wanted members in the audience to be able to understand that. The second thing is, respectfully, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight because obviously this is a major issue. But another thing that stuck out to me is when the planning and zoning heard the case for the B1 Bank, the DDA created a resolution in support that's obviously included in the packet tonight. I've asked this before, I've met with certain people in the community, whether it be residents, business owners. I've fielded phone calls, emails, text messages, letters in the mail, and I appreciate all of that. But I guess my question is, there was major support of the B1 Bank during that particular time. And I guess I want to know, does the DDA have a stance tonight, whether they for or against this particular project? Because we've had projects in the past that they took a strong stance for or against, and I don't have anything in the packet tonight. I just want to know where do they stand?
Councilman Harvey, I'm not aware of any position taken by the Downtown Development Authority. I know they did hear the proposal by United Way for information purposes only, but I'm not aware of any type of resolution that came out of that.
Okay.
Mr. Harvey, may I ask, it was in the record that they took that stand?
It was in the packet. I don't know who passed it out, but I have it in the packet.
I
right
did.
here.
I think it would be UW number 3, and that would be the DDA resolution that was in connection with the approval of the B1 item, and that was it was presented to the Planning and Zoning when the Planning and Zoning approved it.
Okay.
And so I think I had it under exhibit, I'll tell y'all real quickly. I think I had it under exhibit
3.
So that is the Downtown Authority?
DDA, yes, sir. And we're asking that for the same variances that they approved on the B1 building.
Gotcha. And again, those 2 points really stuck out to me because I just want to know the difference. Obviously, everybody is jockeying for their side, but I know that that's a significant authority that people are respected authority in the community. So I just want to know, what's the difference between then and now? Anybody want
Is
to
there
answer?
any representative from that group here?
Nobody had anything listed.
Our position is that there is no difference, and that I think there's individuals here from the DDA, but they don't think they have a formal vote on any position. So that's just the United Way's position.
That's the only 2 things I have for now, Mr. President. I can come back.
Mr. Young, got anything?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the time. I've certainly heard from more individuals on this issue than I have any other issues come before the council in the last 10.5 months that I've been able to serve here. I think there were a lot of great arguments made on both sides. A couple of things that I do disagree with is that United Way does have permission to use their property in as a parking lot or not in any way that they choose as a private property owner. I do feel that way. I think it's incumbent upon the city for us to work with the mayor to figure out a parking solution for downtown to be able to service those businesses and really be able to support them, but their parking lot is theirs to use. I do have to disagree with the use of the word consistent, because I think across the board, this council has strived to be consistent. We've had many discussions about planning and zoning and upholding those decisions or letting them go. What is the value of that organization that thoroughly reviews a process? Consistency is supporting the zoning code across the board however we can, as consistently as we can in the time that we have. This council has consistently supported planning and zoning. I've heard from several constituents in my district that starts, it's not really inclusive of this part, but the south part of downtown that goes from Clarence, moving south on Ryan Street all the way to McNeese. And there are several building owners who have built their buildings, invested in the community, and upheld smart code. The Sanchez Law Firm, Empire the Seed in the Phoenix building, the original United Way building, Woodring Apartments, Crying Eagle, and just a few others, but several that have dropped emails into my inbox to let me know how they feel. As of last night, and I've been in Baton Rouge today, so not really able to keep up with what was coming in the inbox, but as of last night, I had 44 emails, 42 in support of maintaining the code, and 2 asking for this variance. Let me be clear, the work that United Way does in our community is extremely important. We would not be where we are today, post-hurricane recovery, without United Way. I say that emphatically. Also, to Denise's credit, the organization that she has built here in Lake Charles is bar none. It is not the United Way that it was whenever I moved to town in 2009. It's exceeded expectations, and it certainly services our community when they need it most. And so I do want them to continue to be a part of downtown. That being said, a unanimous decision from the Planning and Zoning Board is, I feel, one that we have to uphold. If we break that tradition, then we open ourselves to supporting variances every time that Planning and Zoning decides something that the applicant disagrees with. And at that point, what becomes the purpose of the organization that's filled with developers, architects, folks who've had long-term experience with this? They are an appointed body, therefore they are non-political. We are a political body, and we're working for re-election, and I feel like this decision should be made by an appointed body, not a political one. So that being said, I do have to vote no tonight on supporting the variance, but I appreciate what United Way does in this community. And if we need to have a conversation moving forward about smart code and its value and should we change that, that's certainly a conversation I think this council should have, but at this point, that is the code that we live by. Thank you.
Mr. There's a lot of talk about consistency and the comparison of the Bank One issue to this issue. Variances are meant to be exceptions, and if you really want consistency, you can call it rigid adherence to the code. And there's a mechanism in place that allows people to seek variances. And I understand that this is basically more or less a mirror image of what was approved for Bank One, but that was a very different time than today. That was a building that was a time coming out of hurricane. We're recovering from the hurricane, coming out of on the tail end of the pandemic, freeze, flood, a lot of insurance issues that people had to deal with. And that's why those variances were granted, or the variance as far as the building goes, by the zoning commission. They felt like that it was a dire situation, and that that it was more than an inconvenience for them. So that's why they granted that variance. Situations can be different, especially based on time. Understand that there's concerns with real or perceived that the smart code impedes development. There's been several developments, large developments, that have followed the smart code. So if you're talking about uniformity will be just to support the code blindly, and that's not what we are considering or should consider. One thing that may or may not be unique about this is that it is a new addition to an existing building that was compliant, and that's kind of why I asked the question if they could build actual two-story building. It sounds like whether we grant this variance or not, there's going to be a building built there added to that, and whether we give the variance or we don't give the variance, if we don't give the variance, there's going to be a compliant building built there. So at least in this instance, it's not impeding that development. So it's a tough decision. Honestly, probably the easiest decision that I wasn't at that zoning meeting, and I'm sure there were a lot of people who were opposed. The easiest decision for the zoning commission may have been just to grant the variance. They made what was a tough decision, and I agree with Matt that historically we've supported zoning, especially 4-0 rulings. So yeah, there has to be a very significant, in my opinion, reason to overturn zoning, and I haven't really heard that tonight. Now, we also have another, I say tradition, but we do want to consider the position of the councilman whose district that is in as well. And I don't know, I don't know what we may or may not hear what his position is tonight, but certainly that's also another important consideration to consider. And so I haven't heard the whole story yet. So.
Can I speak, Mr. President?
You want to speak now, or you want to?
I just want to say for the record, and anyone knows I'm very transparent. This is not a political decision for me. The decision tonight is going to be up to each individual councilman. How I vote, I do not want it to reflect. I'm not trying to influence any councilman up here anyway. And those of you who had conversations with me, you know that's been my settlement. like everyone up here is entitled to their own opinion. At the end of the day, we all represent Lake Charles, whether it's north, south, downtown, or whatever. So I just want to make sure it's clear. Every councilman up here is reflecting how they feel individual about this situation. Ronnie Harvey is not trying to influence anybody. My vote is going to reflect how I feel, how I think, and the due diligence that I've done for myself, just for the record.
Mr. Fundale. Oh, Mr. Weatherford, you do? Okay.
It's my turn?
Yes, sir.
You know, I disagree with the fact we are elected to make these tough decisions, and it's just, it has to be made, and variants are a part of the system because we try to do what's fair, you know, and a rigid code does not, and we, at times, we have variants. A lot of them I really don't like. And I just recently had a situation where we granted a variance where 27 people was against the issue, yet the council voted to go ahead with it. You know, that was impacting people at their house, where they live at. You know, this wasn't no business, it's where they live. But the council has that responsibility, and we have to decide. That's all.
Yes. I want to echo what my fellow city councilmen have said, and it's a tough decision. But Doug, can I ask you one question? And not that I haven't studied the smart code, but let me ask you this one question. So does our code say that everything in this district that this smart code oversees has to be a two-story on the street side?
Yes, but there are some uses, it depends on what zone it's in. You have T5, T4, T3, civic. You know, there will be some deviation from the two-story for maybe civic buildings, so it's fluid. But along the corridor, in this specific classification along this corridor, it's a two-story.
Has to be two-story on the street side?
On the street side.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Can I have a quick clarification on that? That's true in Transec, I believe this is 5. If they are further away from the, we'll call it the
Further you
main
get away,
thoroughfare,
yeah.
the density, because I'm oversimplifying it, but the smart code is more of a density-related code, whereas the code for most of the city is a use-based code. Is that a
Form-based, yeah.
fair?
That's fair, yeah.
So, I mean, a simple
The
explanation.
downtown is designed to be very dense, very walkable, a mix of uses, you know.
So I don't know where where the various transects end, but, and I understand that they want to be next to their current building. I'm not suggesting that they go find a place somewhere further away from their building that they could build a one-story building. Because you can build one-story buildings in the smart code.
Depends on the
If it's in the right.
Depends
area.
on where.
transect zone.
Right.
Okay. That was the only reason my question. And let me say this, I do agree with some of my fellow city councilmen. We have, as a group, not 100%, but we have agreed that we would consider what planning and zoning does, because they do a great service to everybody in the city, to us, and they don't get paid for it, just so everybody understands that. And without them, we would be here 7 days a week looking at these things, because I promise you, my mailman doesn't like planning and zoning, because I get a lot of mail, and there's a lot that planning and zoning does. So I really want to support their decisions. And they make that decision based on what's right, not on politics, not on feelings and friends. And I see a lot of friends out here, and I'm going to make my decision on what I think is right and the people I represent. I've heard from a lot of people that have an opinion on this. And I want y'all to understand, we don't take these decisions lightly. We've talked a lot about these things. We pay attention to what's going on. These are not easy decisions, but we're not here to make the easy decisions. But we've gone against planning and zoning when it's a 2-2 vote, because they basically didn't make a decision. But on a 4-0 vote, it's hard to not look at that and think, did they do their diligence? Because why do we have them if we're not going to trust some of their decisions? And I know we have the authority to overrule that, but we got to give them the weight that I think their efforts are worth. So, thank you.
Mr. Bibble?
Well, y'all, this is the part of it that I signed up for that I really don't like. I always listen to the planning zone and stuff, but today they brought it to the city council because we couldn't come to agreement. The city couldn't come to agreement, the downtown, the DDA, everybody couldn't come to agreement for something that's right downtown that benefits, because I told them if they had a storm yesterday, we wouldn't even be arguing with United Way. Everybody be United Way, United Way. But since we ain't have a storm in 6 years, we tend to forget. We tend to forget that when it's bad, everybody running United Way, and now we want to tell them, well, we let Bank One did it because it was a storm, but we rather United Way spend $2.5 million just to look like Bank One. I don't get that part of it. And I don't want to tell my age, but things change. I remember down Ryan when you could play. They had a playground at the end of Ryan Street across from Muller's. And when my mama would go shop, we could go play in the area and she could watch us. But things changed from that. You know what I'm saying? Decisions was made, you moved the playground. So now since they made this smart code and you had these hurricanes, things change. Well, I believe United Way need to try and conserve as much money as possible because we don't know when it's gonna come again. Just because I can afford to build a $400,000 house and a contractor charged me $300, I ain't gonna give them $400 just because I got it. I'm gonna try and save my money. So all the calls, I'm sorry I didn't get to call people back today. I didn't, my father's in the hospital, so I didn't get the time. I usually try and return every call I get, so I didn't. Even Mr. Weatherford, I'm sorry I couldn't call you back today. But I believe that we need to support the people that have supported this area for 80 plus years. I'm 54, so longer than I've been here. I believe we should support them. And since I've been on a council, I've been a man on numbers. And the numbers show today they got more people here today or sign these green cards that's in support than what came in red. And I personally walked to some of the businesses and I asked them, I'm not naming people, I asked them, if you were me, what would you vote? And nobody has got back with me. I say, I don't live downtown, but I say, if you had to vote, if I'm asking you, what would you want me to say in support of your business or the code or whatever it may be, what would you tell me to vote? I'm asking you. And nobody has yet to got back with me to say, how would they feel? That's all I want to know. If you was me, because I'm voting, my vote is for what you say. Nobody has yet got back with me to say, well, Tommy, if I was you, I would vote this way. So now I only can vote by how I feel. And I feel that looking at the rendering and that it was approved by the House and whatever the authority for Bank One, I don't see no reason why I should tell them no, because they the one broke the code initially. We don't break the code to say we broke it because it was a time frame, but now since it's good, we're not gonna break it. If you did it, you opened the door for us to have to make this change. If they never made that change or made that adjustment for Bank One, I could honestly say, man, they ain't never made a change. But when you open the door to change, now I'm forced to make a decision that we shouldn't have to. So me, I don't mind. I'm supporting United Way. So that's it.
Could you put the first picture back up?
Yeah, and after that, I'd like to make one comment and ask Mr. Lofton a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. It is going to look like Bank One. You said, I think you may have misspoke and said that it's going to cost them $2 million to make it look like Bank One. It's not going to. That's in their current plan, is to have the second, the false facade on the front. So it's going to look like Bank One.
That's correct. We're asking for a variance like was given to Bank One.
Now, the question I have has to do with the reason for the smart code is the density and to bring people. If you build a bigger building or a two-story building and spend the extra money, is it going to bring more people downtown? Because that's the density is the purpose for the smart code, and the reason that you want that, or say the code is in place, is to generate that density, to generate people walking and going to businesses. So, is spending the extra $2 million going to generate more foot traffic downtown?
Members of the council, that's exactly what my argument is.
I know, that's why I'm out,
Yes.
yeah.
And the answer is,
No.
what we're
Or is it?
proposing does not prevent walkability.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
the opposition has come in and said they want drivability,
No,
they
no,
want
no,
parking
that's
lots.
not the question is that it's not about the walkability, because I agree, it doesn't impact walkability one way or the other.
That is
The question
correct.
is that the density is about generating bodies downtown.
2 stories is
people
not gonna bring
downtown.
more people.
If you
correct.
build a 2-story building, are there going to be more people in that building?
No, there's not going to be
So,
any more people.
the intent of the code is the second story, if you could rent it out, or if you could bring additional people there, it would be, whether it's compliant or not, it would be compliant with the reason that the smart code is in place. If that was going to generate more bodies downtown, which
If the-
having a true second story in and maybe that's a question for
It's probably
for the
more accurate
director
for
is that
Denise, but what I think what you're asking me is that, are we going to have more people with the second story? And the answer is no.
Okay.
We're going to have
Right,
there may be increases in staff, but that's going to be organic and natural. It's
Well,
not
and
going
that's
to be
gonna
based on this development.
And it's going to be regardless of whether you have
Right.
a second floor.
So-
Yes, sir.
That's my question, is that, because that's the reason, the biggest reason for the smart, it's going to look like the smart code, so it's going to have the appearance of a smart code building, but the real intent is to have that higher density that generates more people, and whether it's a false facade front or it's a true second floor, at least initially, unless the market changes, it's not going to bring more people.
If I'm understanding your
Yeah,
your
that's
question,
my
I think
question.
you're correct.
Right.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, I listened to all of this throughout the night, and I'm looking at this picture, and based upon the picture, I just can't see making someone spend $2.4 million to have a second floor when we get in the same look. The height of the building don't have anything to do with walkability. I think this situation came about, whereas I respect planning and zoning wholeheartedly, and we need them. The problem came when you chose to make a decision about one building and kicked it over to us for the other building. Now, despite what my colleagues have said about us never overturning, I have always been an advocate of, I want us to respect planning and zoning until such time where there has been an error made. And when an error has been made, we have to be the body that corrects it. So, just like Mr. Harvey said, the decision about Bank One building was made within the planning and zoning. They chose to make a decision on Bank One. And here we have another decision that needs to be rendered, and it's been kicked over to the council. So now we're put in a position to be perceived as, we either gonna break the smart code or we're not. And I think that it puts a lot of responsibility on us. Just like Mr. Fundale say, this is what we elected to be. No matter what time it is, time changes. If anything we can use to go against the smart code is because of time. I'm thinking about businesses that we want to attract to come here. And if a business come here and they got $1 million to invest downtown, and we say, no, you got to do that second floor, and that business say, well, if I got to spend another $1.4 million, I'm not coming. And we lose people. You know, when you drive around the United States, you find all variations of things that happen. And we have to change with the times. Right now, or when the smart code was made, it probably was feasible for Lake Charles. Now, with the changing of culture, with the changing of what people get into, we're gonna have to change with the times. I'm one of the people in favor of making smart code more of a reference than the rule. And that way, you have opportunities for businesses. Just think about it. If this is $2.4 million, I can't imagine another small business coming downtown. A small business can't survive. Not if we lock them into this. Now, then we make the code where the further you get down the street, it changes. On the other end of Ryan Street, I just learned that some businesses have to put drainage underneath their business because they can't flow on Ryan Street. And other business didn't have to do it. And you're talking about another $200 and something thousand before you can open the business that you've been saving up all your life for. Not to mention, you purchased a piece of property to do whatever you wanted to do with it. Now, it's different between the laws of loitering and breaking laws and all these other kind of things. But I'm looking at this thing that we're being asked to make a decision of, and I'm looking at a picture and I see no difference. I see no difference. We want to make a person that if the building was 10 foot long, we want them to make it 5 foot long and put the other 5 on top and pay more money for it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to have the same position if somebody else decide to say, hey, United Way got a break. Well, that might not apply to you next time. I might change my opinion. But in this particular case, I see where, I respect planning and zoning, but I would much rather have them made the same decision that they made for Bank One. And I've heard people come up here and say, Bank One is good. Bank One does this. Bank One does that. And they did all that with one story. So what is going to make this all that bad if we allow them to do it? The parking issue, that's something like Mr. Young said, we got to take care of. We got to give our citizens more parking space. We got to help our businesses get more parking space. Hopefully we can work something out with United Way. If they want to, let people park, maybe let people, if you want to park there, you got to get on the insurance for your business, put them as a rider, they're protected, you don't have it. But to come here tonight and say I'm in favor of letting these people spend $2.4 million more just to have a second floor that they're not guaranteed to be able to rent out, I just think that's not right in this situation. And I want to be clear to make note of the fact that if anyone come tell me with Craig, you voted that way the last, I'm letting you know right now, I might change on the next one. It might be different on the next one, depending on the situation, because that's what happened with Bank One. The situations change, and we look at the picture, and if this is an accurate depiction of what we're going to be seeing on the street, I mean, both buildings just about taller than Bank One. So I just can't in good faith vote to keep the decision in place. So my vote is going to be for United Way. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we're going to vote. A yes means, yes, sir.
I was going to clarify.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr.
A vote
Stoops.
for means that you're voting to overturn the decision and grant the variance. A vote no means you're affirming and you're voting no on the variance.
Everybody clear on that? Please vote.
5, 4, and 2 against.
Miss Renee, I'd like to poll the council. Could you please?
Okay. Mr. Bilbo voted in favor. Mr. Young voted against. Mr. Harvey voted in favor. You voted in favor. Mr. Vizino voted against. Mr. Fondell voted in favor, and Mr. Weatherford voted in favor.
Okay, appointments. Number 1, appoint a chairman to review bids for project number CP 3242 Southern Sewer Loop, Gulf Highway Station. That's mine. I think I'm supposed to read that. Oh, just
I feel like we should be at a movie and take an intermission.
We'll give them a minute to clear out.
The whole council. Got quiet.
Okay, appointments. Appointed chairman to review bids at project number CP 3242 Southern Sewer Loop Gulf Highway Lift Station, Mr. Marks. Number 2, appointed chairman to review bids for project number CP 3507 Lake Charles Event Center Green Rooms and amend the budget as necessary, Mr. Harvey.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, appointed chairman to review bids to purchase road-based limestone aggregate per specifications for use by the Public Works Department, Mr. Weatherford.
Yes. I'll take
Number
it.
4, appointed chairman to review bids to purchase replacement retractable telescopic riser seating in the Coliseum of the Lake Charles Event Center. Mr. Harvey.
Yes, sir.
That's a rebid. Number 5, appointment of chairman to review bids for the purchase of bus stop signage for use by Public Works Department Transit Division. Mr. Young, would you take that one?
Yes, sir.
Number 6, appointed chairman to review bids for purchase of 1 new service body crane for use by Public Works Department Wastewater Division. Mr. Wiesner, would you take that?
Yes.
Number 7, appoint a chairman to review bids for the purchase of water infrastructure maintenance and repair parts for use by the Public Works Department Water Division. Mr. Fundale, would you take that? Public hearings. Number 9, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 1400 North Shattuck Street. Cleveland Nash and Elvira Nash owners. Mr. Hester.
Good evening, council, and this is a structure, residential structure that's been damaged by a hurricane. It is in a flood zone. You can see in the pictures, there's roof damage, exterior wall damage, window damage, all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of the structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through certified mail. This is a rehearing from May 6th. I will offer that at the last hearing, Mr. Harvey commented that there might be someone living in the house and had electricity, but I think Mr. Hester has confirmed there is no one living in the house.
We have no cause, Mr. Harvey.
So we we definitely confirm nobody's living there.
He was cleaning out the house.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were supposed to be here, someone here tonight.
Yeah.
But,
They didn't fill out a card.
Do you want to speak?
Ma'am, y'all want to talk? Come up. All right. Right over here. State your name and address for the record when you get up.
My name is Pastor Lawrence L. Nash, and the personnel that was
Your
standing there.
address, Mr. Nash.
Say again?
Pastor. State your address.
1766 Thompson Road in Moss Bluff, Louisiana, 70611.
Okay. Go ahead.
The personnel that was staying there was my son, and he been deceased for about 1 month now at the age of 43. So what we doing as the owners of the property, my siblings, we asking that the council will give us at least 30 plus days so we can all come together to make a precise decision on what to do with the property.
Yes. I'm fine with granting 60 days.
6 days, that sound good.
60 days, please vote.
7-4.
Question.
Mr. Harvey.
This will be the only communication he'll receive, so he'll be back in 60
You won't
days.
get another letter in the mail. You just have to know to come back in 60 days. What's the date?
Let me get it for you.
Okay, well, we're vowed to that. In 60 days, we will come with a precise answer on what to do with the property.
July 15th?
July
And
15th.
this is the only notice you'll get, that you'll have to be back here on July 15th.
That's a promise.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
You- you're welcome.
If you come up with something earlier, I'm sure Mr. Harvey don't mind if you just contact him instead of, if you come up with something before the 60 days.
Yes.
You can just let us know.
All right, we'll do that.
All right.
Thank you.
Number 10, an ordinance ordering demolition authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 411 Gilpy Drive. Gerald Armelin, Senior, owner. Mr. Hester.
residential structure, you can see in the pictures, it's a storm damaged structure. This structure has severe roof damage. It has severe exterior wall damage, window damage, and it's open to the public and exposing to interior weather damage of the structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through curator. This is a rehearing from April 15th.
Mr. Bilbo.
Any cards?
No cards.
15-15.
15-15, please vote.
7-4.
Number 11, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 902 Camellia Street, garage only. Matthew McIntosh, owner. Mr. Hester.
This is a residential, it's a garage only, and you can see in the pictures, there's some roof damage, there's some exterior wall damage, window damage, and it's all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service to a curator. This is a rehearing from April 15th. I believe there's been some discussions by Mr. Rubin.
Mr. Rubin?
Talk to Mr. Attorney Gene Thibodeau. He represents one of the lien holders. He's asking to defer this to June the 3rd. He'll be present on that date.
Mr. Fundale. Yeah. We're deferring till June the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Please vote.
7-4.
Number 12, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 2725 Louisiana Avenue. Holly Ryder Bruyette and Zoe Gasport Ryder, owners. Mr. Hester.
And this is another storm damaged structure, and you can see in the pictures it has severe roof damage to the structure, exterior wall damage, it's open to the public, exterior window damage, all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and personal service. This is a rehearing from April 15th.
No cards, Mr. Fundale.
I was contacted by the owner, and they asked for 60 days, and they'll take care of tearing it down themselves, so I want to give them 60.
60 days to tear, 60. Oh.
July 15th would be the rehearing.
Is it 60 or 1560?
Well, yeah,
It's up to y'all.
Yeah, and
It's 60 days to pull a permit.
And 60 days to tear it down.
And then 60 days after that to tear it
The
down.
first number is the amount of time you're giving them to obtain a permit.
Okay.
The second numbers is the total amount of days they're giving them. So you're giving them 60 days to obtain a permit,
Yeah, I need to give them more on that.
and then another 60 days, are they tearing it down?
Yes.
So 60 and
You may wanna give
120
60
is what
you
you're
may
saying.
wanna give
so
60
you want to give them 60 to pull and then 60 to tear it down. You don't want them to have it down in 60 days. Is that correct?
6120.
6120.
6120.
6120.
6120, please vote.
7-4.
Number 13 has been deferred to June 17, 2026. Number 14, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 2107 Clarinda Street. Julius Lee Fontenot Sr. and Jennifer V. Fontenot, owners. And being that we'll do it separate. Okay, Mr. Hester.
This is a residential storm damaged structure, and you can see in the pictures, it has roof damage, exterior wall damage, window damage, all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of subject property and proof of service through the marshal's office.
And we do have a card, Mr. Fontenot. State your name and address for the record.
Julius Lee Fontenot, 2209 Clarinda Street, 70601.
Mr. Fontenot, what would you like us to do with 2107?
I would like to go ahead on and tear it down, and if there's some way I can get some type of bids on that property for it to be torn down, or however that goes. I'm not sure. This is my first
I
rodeo.
think that we can kind of give him an estimate of what it would cost to tear it down if the city tore it down. Can we give him that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We can give them that, huh? Mr. Hester, can we give them an estimate to demo it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then, I mean,
Go ahead.
We'll go through the process, give him, the time to get the permit and complete. And then, once we receive the bids after that time lapses, we can inform him, and he can make the decision to either tear it down himself or let the city go ahead and do it.
Okay, so Mr. Fontenot, after you leave here, you get with them and they can explain it better to you.
Okay.
I mean, real quick explanation, you can find a contractor and tear it down yourself, or you can allow the city to do it.
Yes, sir.
And what will happen is it'll be applied to your tax bill, and you're gonna have to pay one way or the other.
Yeah, but
It's
what
just-
Mr. Fontenot wants to know is
Right.
what he weighing against if the city
Right.
tear it down as opposed to him.
Right, I think that's, yes.
Okay.
That's 2107. So how much time, Mr. Harvey?
I think the quickest way to expedite it is 1515, since we're trying to get it torn down anyway, right?
And if, just to say if something changed, your primary contact is Mr. Harvey.
Yes, sir.
That's
So-
my church member, so y'all treat him right.
So we giving 15? What we saying, Mr. Fontenot, is you got 15 days to pull a permit, and We need to give them long, because they
What about
giving them
15:30?
giving them an estimate.
Let's do normal delays, 30, 60.
Yes.
Say no more delays.
Normal delays, please vote.
Excuse me, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
You said something about a permit. I'm not sure what you
Well,
mean.
if you tear it down, you're gonna have to have a permit to
Okay.
tear it down.
It's a demolition
A
permit.
demolition permit.
But
Okay.
but in the meantime, they're gonna do their part, and then they'll inform you so that you can.
I have a question. Is that your, I assume, you have a different, this is not your residence?
No, sir.
So, but he can't pull a permit and demo himself, he's gonna have a licensed contractor pull the permit.
But all of that can be on hold until we.
Oh, no, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I just wanted him to understand that it's
Yeah.
not, he's not gonna personally pull the permit. You have to have a licensed contractor do it.
No,
No.
if it's
If
the
it
one
was
he
his
live on.
residence, he could, but if it's a,
Okay, and Mr. Fontenot is on number 15 as well. Number 15, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 2105 Clarinda Street, Julius Lee Fontenot and Jennifer Valmont Fontenot, owners. Mr. Hester.
This is another residential storm damaged structure. You can see in the pictures, there's roof damage, exterior wall damage, exterior window damage, all exposed in the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer in the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through the marshal's office.
And Mr. Fontenot, if I'm not mistaken, you want to keep this one?
Yes, sir, I want to keep this one. I have a permit on this one to start. We already started doing work on it, so,
Okay,
excuse me. So I do have a permit on that one.
okay.
Oh, you ready for me? Oh, yeah. I've been in constant contact with Mr. Fundo. I'm good with taking it off and deferring it.
So-
we can come back and get an update in 90 days.
Okay.
He has a permit already.
So if you don't mind, we want you to come back in 90 days?
August
Yes, sir.
19th.
Just
August
for an update.
19th, just to give us an update of your progress on this house. In the meantime, you want to get with Mr. Begaris, and he'll tell you about the first house.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
One more quick question.
Yes,
Will
sir.
you guys, will y'all contact me or,
No,
I
from
just
this
gotta-
point on, you have to do all the contacting.
okay, August 19th? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Please, we don't have to vote for, do we have to vote for him to come back in 60 days, Mr. Stutes? 90 days?
90 days, yes.
Okay, please vote, 90 days? All right, thank you, Mr. Fontenot. Number 16, an ordinance ordering demolition authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 819 Mall Street. Brian Keith Design LLC owner. Mr. Hester.
I'm going to take Mr. Hester's place.
Okay.
For this one. This structure is located within the historic district, but the staff, we are recommending an emergency demolition for this. It is about to fall over. It is,
About to
we've
implode.
looked at it,
It's
we've
on
determined that we have to take immediate action on getting this torn down under the emergency provisions of the code. I have the owner here to answer any questions about, they've looked at costs to renovate the structure. It is damaged beyond reasonable repair costs to get this thing back into commerce. So we're recommending 1515 on an emergency basis for getting this structure torn down. And Mr., the owner's here representing the property, if you would like to have any questions.
Let me, Mr. President, if I may, offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through the marshal's office.
Mr. Brian Valier.
Any questions for Mr. Valier?
No, I don't have any questions, but the neighboring property to the north side, the
That's
question
me.
was about protection of their home during the demolition.
We will work through that issue. We had a very similar situation with the home on Pujo Street, so.
So we're gonna
we
communicate
will
with them
meet
just
with
to
the contractor on site, number one, to make sure that they are capable of doing it in a safe manner.
Gotcha. That was the question that they called
Or
about.
if he decides to do it himself, we will work with him to make sure that's taken care of.
Thank you.
Number 17, an ordinance ordering demolition authorizing.
We gotta vote.
Oh, what was the thing? 1515, please vote. Number 17, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 1751 6th Avenue, Burn Structure, Rose M. George, size owner. Mr. Hester.
And this is a severely badly burned structure. It's a residential structure. You can see in the pictures, the roof is burned. There's exterior damage to the walls, windows, and it's all open to the public.
I think there was a request to defer this.
It was requested that this should have been deferred.
Yeah,
Till when?
August 19th.
August 19th.
August 19th. Please vote.
I just have a
Want me to
passing
explain?
question. Should they
Yes.
secure that?
No, I can explain.
Okay.
They found the sister from the size residence, and she approved, gave him the, whatever you need to say he can get the house, and one of the people gonna help him build it. But the house had to be there for him to fit underneath the program.
Right.
If they tore down the house, he won't fall underneath the program,
Right.
so it had to be still standing.
And
And
that's-
she been in communication with me, and she told me, she wanted to come, I said,
And that's his residence.
and that's his residence. So now it's his residence. First, it was his
Mama's.
his mama passed, so we had been trying to find him. Everybody was working hard, but they found his sister, and she signed her part over to us, so now the people can help him rebuild it. But the house had to be standing when they come to,
Evaluate.
yeah.
So we deferring for 30 days? Or how long?
It was 90
90
days, because they
days.
had to go through the process, and they're gonna stay in contact with me.
Yeah,
If they
gotcha.
get done
I
beforehand,
was just
I'll let
asking
everybody
if you
know.
wanted to have a fence put on.
All right. Mr. Weatherford, you had a question?
Oh, no, I just had a thought more than a suggestion, but, you know, I don't know if it's dangerous. I thought maybe if some sort of fence around it just to keep people out. Not tear it down, not take it down, but just secure you can't secure the building, obviously, but secure the perimeter of the property.
Well, the perimeter has a fence around it. It's knocked down right there, but
Right.
around the front and everywhere, it has a
Okay.
fence.
All right,
All right.
all right.
Please vote. Number 19 has been deferred to June 17, 2026. Number 20, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 2401 Woodard Street. LaShara L. Stinson, owner, subject to a tax sale to the state of Louisiana. Mr. Hester.
You can see in the pictures, this is a hurricane damaged structure. It's a residential structure, and it's in severe, badly condition. It's collapsing. The whole roof is collapsed. Exterior walls are collapsed. Window damage, all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer in the record photographs of subject property and proof of service through the marshal's office.
I recommend 1515.
1515, please vote.
7-4.
Number 21, an ordinance on demolition and authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 1206 Hunter Drive. Brandy at Alexis Henderson and Edward Joseph Henderson, owners, subject to a tax sale to the state of Louisiana. Mr. Hester.
This is a storm damaged residential structure, and you can see in the pictures, there's some roof damage, exterior wall damage, exterior window damage. It's open to the public, all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Ms. Bramley Henderson.
One second here.
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
President.
sorry.
At this time, I'd like to offer in the record photographs of subject property, and I believe Mrs. Henderson is here to speak.
State your name and address for the record.
My name is Brandy Henderson, 1206 Hunter Drive.
Okay.
We got in touch with someone, buy home as is. Started in February, signed all the paperwork, everything, end of March. Did all that and haven't heard from them.
You need a little bit more time?
I've been trying to get in touch with them, phone call, email, everything. Haven't heard from them. Don't know, I started March after everything. Started again when I talked to Miss Shelley, haven't heard anything. Signed all,
Buying it from you or you're buying it?
buying it from me.
Mr. Bilbo?
How much time do you need?
Miss, let's play it by ear. Let's give her 30 days and come back if you hadn't heard.
Well, I want to be, this one is you don't like it. I've been getting several complaints about this home. 4 or 5 people on Hunter Drive call me all the time. They vagrants living in and out of it, animals, and I really get a bunch of phone calls on it. I would want to help her to say, give us some time, but Is your time is just to sell it, or you selling, or your time is to fix it?
Sell it.
Well, see, that's not our. I have to think about the other people on Hunter Drive. If once you told me you hadn't heard anything, who you trying to sell it to, if you don't mind?
The company's name is Nation Home Buyers.
She did all the paperwork for the sale. She just waiting to hear back from
Do
them.
you have a purchase agreement?
No,
Signed?
that's
You
what
don't
I'm
have
saying. I haven't heard
You just have
anything.
some verbal discussion. You haven't,
Yeah.
there's no signed purchase agreement, so you haven't sold it, and.
Yeah, exactly.
the
That's what Ms.
person
Shelley
you're trying
told
to
me.
sell it to, for whatever reason,
Didn't
is
call you back.
Tommy, what
Oh,
if
she
she
not-
didn't have no
secured what if she secured the house?
Well, I'll give her 15 days to give us an answer. If she can sell it in these 15 days, something, you say you started this in January?
February.
February.
Mid-February.
March, April, it's May.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing. I've been trying to get in touch with these people since.
What do
Finish.
you want us to do? I mean, we have to make a decision.
I'm on
That's
your
what-
time.
You don't know,
I'm on your time. I've
15.
been trying to sell it.
You wanna maybe have her come, do 14, have her come to our June 3rd meeting? That's 14 days
14
roughly.
days.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, yeah.
So we're gonna defer it until June the 3rd?
June 3rd.
June the 3rd, you come back and let us know. If you hadn't heard anything, if you hadn't heard anything before then, you can call Mr. Bilbo before time.
Excuse me, there's no papers for me to speak. There's no papers back there. I am so sorry.
and
Brandy,
address, please.
my name is Linda Rito. I live at 1210 Hunter,
Okay.
next to their property. And I've been here several times. They have given the Hendersons numerous times to do something. She has not lived in the house for 3 years now. That house has been vacant. They've done nothing since the hurricane. And I deal with their raccoons that are living in that house. I have to deal with all of the animals. And they have given her, y'all have given her a lot of time to do something to that home, and she's done nothing. They've done nothing. And I don't see that the man she's talking about, his name is Mr. London. Mr. London does not live in Lake Charles, and he told me he was wanting to talk with them because they wanted to sell the house, and he was going to look at it. I was there the day he went to look at the home. He told me he would get back to me if he had decided to buy the house. I had not heard anything from Mr. London, and I don't think Mr. London is looking to purchase that house.
Miss Rito, we're giving them the minimum amount of time. Either way, they got 15 days.
15 days?
15 days.
15 days, is this for them to either start some type of
No.
action or just to demolish it?
That's the pull a permit and tear, do what they're gonna do with it. If they don't do it, then the city is gonna tear it down.
Okay, well, thank you, because
Bilbo?
that's been too much with them.
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
1515, please vote.
7-4.
28-2 has been deferred. Ordinances for final action. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsible bid and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for project number CP 3520 wastewater treatment basin A, AO2 sewer rehabilitation. Mr. Weatherford.
Yes, sir. We had 3 responsive and responsible bidders, and the lowest responsible bidder was Vortex Lining Systems, LLC. Their bid was in the amount of $3,291,701, and happy to say that is, 270 or so under the design, the engineer's estimate. So,
Any questions or comments?
my recommendation, we accept that bid.
Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
24, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsible bid and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for project number CP 3503, 2025 asphalt overlays and amend the budget as necessary. Mr. Bilbo.
We had 4 responsive bids, but based on information provided here above, we recommend the award of a project to Empire Dirt Works LLC in amount of $1,058,564.16. And I do want to let the council know that I was a responsive bidder, and Miss Wendy has been in constant contact with me with this process.
You was the sponsor.
I was a sponsor, and she actually called me, and I'm like, I am. So,
Well, just for future references, you're supposed to let all of us know.
I'm sorry for not telling y'all, but she kept me updated with it, and next time I'm gonna know to tell y'all.
All right.
All right.
Please vote. Number 25, before we go to that, the mayor wants to make a,
You can read it in.
read it, okay. Number 25, an ordinance authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement with the most qualified architect engineering firm responding to the request for statements of qualifications to perform professional service, to prepare cost estimates, provide engineering and design service, provide construction management oversight, and other additional services as needed for the design and construction of an indoor recreation facility in Lake Charles.
Good evening, council. I just want to, this is an item to authorize the city to start negotiating an agreement to get the design of this sports complex that we've been talking about for a while. So I want to give you an update on all that has occurred. We started off with the sending out a request for qualifications in March and to get qualified people to come in and design. It's not the way the process works. The city picks the designer, makes a recommendation. The council authorizes us to get into a contract with them. Once the project is designed, then it goes out to bid. And once those bids come in, the council makes the determination of who's going to actually construct the facility. So to walk you through the bid process, we sent out a request for qualifications on this project, and we wound up getting 15 responses. 2 of the responses did not meet the requirements of the request for qualifications, so those were discarded. We had 13 that met the qualifications, and we formed a committee to go, an advisory committee to go through and review these processes. We had representatives from the city, the parish, local industry, Ward 3 recreation because of recreational components, tourism, and hospitality. And we got together, and through that process, we reviewed all 13 of the proposals and came up with 5 finalists to actually come in and conduct interviews. Those interviews were conducted on Monday, and up on the board is some of the questions. We ran a standard set of questions so that we were comparing apples to apples on the responses, and it covered a variety of topics from reserving trees to experience with the construction management at risk, which is the CMAR construction method, which we would prefer. And we did find out from the state that they have authorized us to go that route, which is going to expedite this process. And out of those 5 responses, we wound up interviewing 5, and I'll talk about all 5 in order. But at the conclusion of that process, the advisory committee took a scoring system and came up with a score that compiled the top rated firm. And what we're doing now is we need authorization to go and start contract negotiations to start getting a design in place. So I'll walk you through the 5 that came. And first, let me start by saying that all 5 of these companies were extremely qualified to design this facility, because it serves 3 purposes. First and foremost, it is a community resiliency hub. This facility is going to have to be able to withstand 140 miles an hour wind, have independent power sources, be able to stage recovery efforts. It is a city resiliency hub as put it together in the Just Imagine plan, and that's its first and foremost function. The second function is to serve as a community recreation center, to house different types of programs where the community can come in and utilize these facilities, because it does belong to the people. And then the third function is to serve as a nationally certified sports and recreation complex that can house nationally sanctioned tournaments. And that's the way of paying the bills, keeping the lights on, so it doesn't become a burden on the taxpayers. Out of the 13 people that responded, all of them were qualified, but the 5, it was very hard ranking them. So when we got together with the 5 for the interviews, that would be the deciding factor. But to give you an idea, I'll run through the 5. The first was Grace Design Studios, and they have representatives here in the audience. Grace is familiar. They're a national company that designs sports facilities. Right now, currently, they're working on the green rooms at the event center and also working on the amphitheater design. Next was Multi Studio, which is also a national firm that's doing work in the city right now. They actually designed the new press box at Magny Stadium, and they also designed the $26 million rebuild at Southwest Louisiana Center for Health Services on Opelousas Street. And so they were in town, and they qualified in the top 5. Next we had was diverse design, which is they partnered with Perkins and Will. Perkins and Will is a nationally renowned design architecture firm that designs sports facilities of various types all over the country. Very strong application. And then finally, after that, we had the Chase Marshall, which partnered with PBK, which is also a nationally recognized design firm that designs sports recreations. But at the end of those times, the committee got together. We had a scoring sheet, scoring mechanisms, and once all the scores were compiled, the one that scored the highest on that from the advisory committee was WHLC Architecture, and WHLC Architecture is a Baton Rouge firm, and they partner with Sasaki, which is an internationally known design firm. So we did pull in a very, very impressive group to look through, and the scoring was very, very tight. This was the one that was ranked first, and I'll show you what some of the things that they did. On the next screen, you have some of the designs for both architect groups as they come together. Like WHLC designed the Raising Cane Center in Baton Rouge, the Pennington Biomedical Center, and various other buildings that are significant. And then Sasaki has designed buildings all over the world. So we drilled down on a few of them. Jointly, they designed the recreation center at the University of South Alabama Rec Center, and we asked them to give us some comparable designs. This one was 116,000 square foot that was built, and as you can see it on the right side in the small, and the letters on the right side of the picture, you see that design won several awards and was recognized by several publications. The other thing that we looked at was the Eastway. Go to the next slide, please. That's the Eastway Regional Recreation Center. So we're looking at sports and recreation components. And this one was built in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sasaki, this was 95,000 square feet. And it won, as you can see from the right side too, it also won a number of awards and publications. But we asked, one of the things we also asked of all of the people that responded is that given the location and given the site where this facility is to be built, it had to have an iconic design that made a statement because it's going to be a part of the lakefront for generations. So we didn't want just a regular sports facilities. We wanted something that would be a landmark, a segue into the culture and the vibe of our Lake City. So we asked them to come up with something, and then the next slide is going to be, they came up with, one of the things they did was the Cary Community Recreation and Sports Complex in Cary, North Carolina. That was a 284,000 square foot facility, but if you look at it, on the top it has greenery, trees, and it has a wind down that circles down into the area itself. And if you look at the next slide, it looks up from the interior, very iconic, very significant. So everyone brought their A game to this particular competition. And then also because Sasaki was in place, we looked at also they did the University of Lima Recreation, Wellness, and Student Life Center in Lima, Peru. That's a 180,000 square foot facility, and that has also won numerous awards. So we went through, and the scoring was really, really tight, and all of the people that responded have local people associated with them and affiliated with them. This one has the Posh firm, which is an architectural firm that is designated to do construction management once the building is coming up. So given that, and I want to thank our committee because the committee worked really, really hard, reviewing these applications, spending the whole day interviewing, and I want to thank all those that responded. They came in, but now it's time to pick a designer, and we want to pick a designer, but in order to do that, we have to have authority to get into a contract with them so they can go ahead and start designing this facility, so we can get a construction bid out that you can decide on who's going to build this facility. Now, each one of them has also said that the design process is going to be very interactive. They're going to have charrettes where the community is going to be engaged. The community is going to be able to come in and give input, because it's obvious that in order for them to design a facility, it has to be something that the community has put their input into. We did that with Andres Dewani. We had the charrettes after Hurricane Rita. And so this is going to be an opportunity for the public to give all of their input, because not only is this a sports facility, but also a recreation center. But everyone was excited also because the aspect of having a skating rink in there. From my understanding, this may be the only sports complex that would actually have an actual skating rink as opposed to a walking facility. So all of these people showed up. They were very excited, which was surprising to us, since they build all over the country, all over the world. They were excited about this project. They were excited about the opportunity. They were excited because the request for qualifications really laid out how important this facility is going to be, how generation is going to be to our community. So with that said, I'm asking you tonight to pass this ordinance authorizing us to enter into an agreement and start negotiating with the firm to design this project. The state has told us that we can do it as a construction manager at risk, which means that we're going to be expeditious in getting that to you, and then you pick the builder, and we go ahead and start constructing this facility. Are there any questions?
And the winner was who you
But
said?
the number one ranked one is the number one ranking came out to WHLC Architecture Sasaki. So that was the recommendation that was made by the committee. I'm willing to honor that, but at the same time, we do have to negotiate a contract and make sure that everything fits. So
we're giving you permission to deal with Sasaki.
well, the ordinance is we start with Sasaki, but it's the most qualified architecture engineering firm. So, you know, the engineering firm, the architecture engineering firms usually do a percentage of the actual project. That's their take on it. So we have to negotiate that. But right now, that negotiation starts with WHLC in Architecture Sasaki.
So, if I'm understanding you correct, you want us to give you permission to talk to all of them. If Sasaki don't work out, go to the next one.
Yes.
Why can't y'all work that out and then come to us?
Well, we can. Well, I don't have the authority to do that right now.
So can we give you the authority to go and negotiate with them, Mr. Stoots?
Yes.
Can we give
Yes.
them authority to go do it without voting on anybody until they decide who their first one is?
Well, you can give him the authority to assign a design and engineering contract, which is a professional services contract. Once we have a design and we have a bid for the project, we absolutely will have to come back to y'all and have to be approved by the council.
Okay. Yeah, but I understand the bid. What I'm saying is to select a person, in order for us to select a person, because I feel like we're being asked to give you permission to go and select a person without knowing who the person is.
No, I think
The person is. Yeah, we have selected one.
Oh, that's what I misunderstood. I thought you were just saying that that's the number one rank of it.
Yeah, y'all are authorizing me to go out and get a contract for the design. We've made the recommendation was to select WHLC Sasaki, and
Okay,
I'm
okay,
accepting that.
my
So
misunderstanding.
that's who we're negotiating
Okay,
with.
all right. That's all the questions I have. Anybody else? Okay.
Thank y'all.
We're giving the administration permission to go and enter an
Authority.
agreement with
Authority.
Sasaki, huh?
I say authority.
Authority
Yeah.
to go and enter an agreement with Sasaki for A&E firm. Everybody's in agreement? Please vote.
7-4, you have to forward.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Miles Brown.
Well, I guess to be more accurate or more precise is HWLC Sasaki.
Well, we want to take that.
Well,
vote out. No, I got a card that I got to
I
hit before we
understand.
vote. Yeah. Mr. Brown, Name and address for the record, please.
Miles Brown, 1020 4th Avenue. Most of the things that the mayor presented, I pretty much got the answers to, so I just had one question. Is it still confirmed that it's supposed to be the national scale size?
The mayor, yes, the mayor mentioned that in his
Yeah,
presentation.
and that's really much all I had, so I appreciate it. Thank
All right. Any other questions?
Just, it's HWLC Sasaki, just.
HWLC Sasaki.
HWLC Architecture partnering with Sasaki.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I will note that the ordinance that we have on file that in tab 25 just gives the mayor the authority to enter into an agreement with the most qualified firm responding. So if you want to specifically do WHLC, you'll have to amend this ordinance. But
Specific one.
yeah, because it was designed to just give
Right.
him the authority
To negotiate with
and,
anyone.
I mean, he's picked WHLC, but it could be that something happens in the negotiations and he goes to the second rank. I'm just telling you, that's the way it's worded.
Well, I'm me personally, I'm all right with the way the ordinance is written. I just wanted us to designate a initial
Yes,
person.
sir, and I just wanted to make sure I was
So in
clear.
order to do that, we have to amend it. We would have to amend the ordinance.
No, I think Mr. Mark's saying he's fine with it the way it
Oh, I
is.
said I'm fine with the way it is. I just wanted us to have some sort of idea who we dealing with. Now, if they gotta change it, he can go ahead on and
Right, I
change it.
agree, yeah,
Okay.
that's what the ordinance
I
says.
think all of the ones that we mentioned are qualified, but this is the one that was selected, so that's the ones we're gonna negotiate with.
Any other questions or comments? Please vote. Number 26, an ordinance accepting the best proposal received for renewal coverage and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for property and casualty insurance for the city of Lake Charles effective May 22nd, 2026 through May 22nd, 2027. Any questions or comments?
I have a couple of things to offer.
Yes, sir.
On this, if I may, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
A couple of things. One is I've got to read something in that pertains to UM, but I also wanted to let y'all know that even after we had discussions with various council members yesterday, the premium came in a little lower when it was finally booked in the afternoon. And the proposal is that this year's premium will be $4,544,679.74, which is about a little over a $210,000 increase from last year when we paid $4,333,000 for our property and casualty and liability. Although I will tell you, it's interesting. The insurance market is moving in a good way for us. We actually added a little more than $210 million in insured value for properties. So that's almost a 40% increase in insured value for the properties. I mean, we've built some buildings, we had some stuff come online, and yet the premium increase was like 5%. So we more than 40%. We've upped what we're insuring by 40%, but the premium only went up by 5%. So just letting y'all know, things got a little wacky there after the hurricane, but if we go a few more years without hurricanes, we might be doing much better. So, and again, at the time of the hurricane, we were only insured value at like 90 million. Now we're at over almost $750 million. So, and then I have something to read, but I'm also available for any questions y'all might have about that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what we do have to read in as part of the ordinance, it deals with uninsured motorists in Louisiana. Part of the ordinance is that the mayor of the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, is hereby authorized to reject uninsured, underinsured motorists, bodily injury, and property damage coverage as recommended by the city of Lake Charles's insurer and is authorized by Louisiana Insurance Code Title 22, Section 1406, effective as of May 22, 2026 through May 22, May 22nd, 2027.
So that means we're accepting uninsured motorists?
No, we're rejecting uninsured motorists, which saves us money.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does it put us more at liable?
Not really, no. I mean, the uninsured motorist just means this. If someone rear-ended a brain surgeon in town and they only had $50,000 in coverage, then if the brain surgeon, that's a big claim, but they've only got $50,000 in coverage, he's not going to get much money from them. He can personally choose to have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage for, say, $5 million.
Gotcha.
So he can't do surgery no more. That's a very big lawsuit. but the person who harmed him doesn't have any money and doesn't have any coverage.
Right.
He can then sue his own insurance company for $5 million.
Gotcha.
We basically have people working for the city who basically wouldn't have those kind of claims, and also they would be in the course and scope of their business. So uninsured motorist just doesn't make sense for a business as opposed to an individual.
Gotcha. One other question.
And it makes your premium go up.
One other question I read in there about we got $5,000 that they give us for safety.
Oh yeah, well that's like just a little piece of coverage that they give you, yeah.
But I to my understanding, it was $5,000 that they give us that we can do a safety program. Unless I read it wrong.
I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. I can't.
Dana's here, Rusty. can
Dana's
explain
here.
that.
Good. Thank you, Dana. Don't want to steal your thunder.
Members of the council, the $5,000 that they give us, it can be used for anything that we like. In the years past, we had a antique, for lack of a better way to say it, program for our risk management claims handling. We went in 2018 to handling our claims ourselves, so we began using that money to go towards the new claim system. So that way we could keep up better with the expenditures and handling of the claims.
Do we still need that $5,000 for that particular program?
Yes, sir, it's ongoing.
Okay. But
Now,
can't-
we do have a safety program in place.
Okay.
That we do. We have, monthly safety meetings. We have Ms. Howard actually oversees our safety program. So we do have a safety program in place.
I was just wondering if we could use that $5,000 in other areas.
I mean,
You
to
have to
that.
be able to justify what you're using it for. So for instance, in this instance with for the actual software that we lease, we actually have to have a invoice from them sent to the insurance carrier, and then they pay them direct. So we don't get the money and then we disperse it.
Gotcha.
So for whatever we would choose to use it for, then we would have to have them actually directly invoice the insurance company.
But right now, it's beneficial to us to use it for what y'all using it for.
Yes, sir. It saves us about $10,000 for the claim software that we lease it annually.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Weather.
No, yeah, well, I really don't have anything. I was, money is fungible, whether we say it's going to that or it's going to the software, if we're going to defray the cost of safety, it's still $5,000.
Yeah,
It really doesn't really change anything.
I just found it interesting
Oh,
that
I
they was
understand.
giving
Sure.
us that money, and I
Right,
just
right.
wanted to know what it could be used for.
Yeah, that falls under our casualty coverage, so it's used to help reduce claims, obviously.
Gotcha.
And in this instance, it helps us to manage our claims.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mr. Stoots. Any questions or comments? Please vote. Number 27, an ordinance authorizing the City of Lake Charles to accept North Ridge Road, Westmere Drive, Pinnacle Road, and the Ridge at Morgan Field Phase 3, including public right-of-ways, drainage, water, and sewer lines, sewer and traffic control devices for ownership and maintenance by the City of Lake Charles. The City of Lake Charles will not take ownership of detention ponds. Any questions or comments? Please vote. 28, an ordinance authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter in an architectural and engineering agreement with D.W. Jensen and Associates LLC for engineering services relative to project number CP 3070 Oak Lawn Drive and Ori Road Sewer Lift Station upgrade. Any questions or comments? Please vote. 29. Somebody say, oh. 29, an ordinance authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter in a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury and the Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 2, East Calcasieu Parish, to share in the cost of the Greenwich Terrace Buyout Initiative project. Number 29, Miss Carrie Withers. But before Miss Withers you can come on, Miss Withers. But I would like for Mr. Stoots to explain what this is, so we don't have no misrepresentation or misunderstanding about what we're actually doing.
I'm actually deferred to Mr. Cardone because he
Okay.
has a better command of this than me.
Mr. Cardone?
Yes, sir. This is, if y'all recall, Mr. Council members, that there was a buyout program that was initiated through the parish for buying out a lot of people that had repetitive losses in the terrace area. Those properties were bought out through that grant program, And part of this is there were 7 outstanding properties that did not participate in the buyout program. And this allows the parish to go in there and buy out those additional 7 properties. They estimate the cost at around $240,000, and they're asking the city of Lake Charles to participate in that cost up to $120,000. So that's the remainder of the buyout program. The intent of the property that will be used at this location will be a dry detention pond. The parish was able to get a grant for that dry detention pond, and it'll provide additional drainage improvements throughout the terrace area and the surrounding area because of having additional detention in the area. The other component, if you look at, is a maintenance agreement. This detention, although it's located inside the city of Lake Charles, is still going to be owned by the parish or gravity drainage. It will not be owned by the city of Lake Charles. They came to us and asked us to cost share in the maintenance of this property. And our recommendation is that we enter into an agreement to allow us to participate up to 1/3 of the cost between the city of Lake Charles, the Calgary Parish Police Jury, and gravity drainage, with a total amount not to exceed $38,333 per year.
And Mr. President, just for more clarification, those 7 homes are on General Moore Drive. That's the remaining 7 homes that's at the periphery of the dry detention pond.
And is there an estimation of how much that money translates into for those properties?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's about $35,000.
So that's what they're giving for those
exactly
houses?
each one, but it's approximately $35,000 if you divide it by 7.
Okay.
I have a question. So when you say a dry drainage, are they digging? What are they gonna do with that land?
Detention.
Mr. Fondell, I am not an engineer, but I know that these dry detention areas, you know, if you look at the one that was built on Louisiana Avenue, that is a wet detention, so it holds water all the time. This one is dry detention, so it will hold water, but it drains out to be completely dry, so it can be used as a green space when it's not being utilized as detention.
I rode in that area, and the ground is just kind of level from people's homes right across the street.
Yes, sir.
So what's
It's
to
not going to
stop-
be leveled. There is, when you design a dry
Or do some
detention.
work and dig it out.
Yes, sir.
And lower it.
It will be
So-
lowered.
So the people that we're finna buy out, what if they don't wanna be bought out?
I don't anticipate, if they choose not to be bought out, then I assume they can't be bought out. That's my anticipation. This is being managed by the
We're gonna
parish, not
offer
by the
them
city.
35,000 for their property?
No, sir, I didn't say 35,000. Mr. Marks asked, what would that average out to? The total estimate by the police jury was $240,000 for 7 properties. And which properties, you know, some may be 20, some may be 50. I don't know, because we didn't ask that.
Okay.
Ms. Withers?
Okay,
State your name and address
Oh,
for the
can I
record.
ask another quick?
Oh, go ahead.
So we basically, in this ordinance, I guess we're amending to say that, just up to 38,000, we'll just say 40, whatever the number, 38,000 plus. Do we also need to put in that are limiting ourselves to 120,000 to buy the properties as well?
That is the intent.
As far-
I have no problem.
well,
If it's not clear, I don't have no problem with the council.
So we can put those two, we.
124
I like
and
to- I like us to
38,000.
amend this ordinance to explicitly state that it's the 120,000, half of the 240, and then 1/3 of whatever the estimate.
Mr. Stewart, I think you would read that the city's willing to participate for half the purchase of the 7 properties, not to exceed 120,000.
Maybe less.
Just
Right, I
seems
understand, right.
premature. Because we don't even know if they have an agreement with these people yet.
Yes, sir. They've been talking to these people. We've met with them. If you ask me the specifics about it, I can't get into it, but they've been talking to them, and so
And
they
if they-
believe they
From
can
the
get all
parishes
7.
here, though, to talk about.
No.
No, sir.
But if they don't give it to us, if they don't go through, we get our money back.
Oh, I understand, but I'd like to know, I'm just thinking about pinching pennies. With some recent occurrences, we gotta look at every dollar. It's the only reason I'm asking these questions. And did these 7 people have the opportunity to participate in the buyout program, and why they did not?
I do not have that answer.
I know you don't.
And let me
Those
say
are
this.
questions I'd like to ask the police jury before I agreed to it, because.
And keep in mind, in order to qualify is my understanding, in order to qualify for the buyout program, you had to have a repetitive loss. So I'm not quite sure if these did not have the repetitive losses, or at the time they just not want to participate in the program.
So, Mr. Vizno, are you saying you want to defer this until you get those answers, or what?
Well, it's just things that would make me feel good about us participating in something that we had some federal dollars. There was enough federal dollars there, I think, for these people to participate, and the parish administered the program. Now they're asking us, well, we made a mistake, or we didn't get them all. Even though we got the federal dollars, now y'all come and give us some more money.
Mr. Vizno, if y'all want to defer, it's your privilege. The reason we're making a recommendation is because they are building a detention pond at no cost to the city, and it will definitely benefit the people in the terrace that have homes there and the surrounding area, because this area drains into Coachee-Coulee. So it's a
agree.
tremendous
I
benefit
agree 100%.
for that cost.
But we also pay taxes for gravity drainage and the parish.
I understand.
All right.
So,
No, we don't have to defer.
Yeah, but you're right, but that is, we've all, most of us talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the city is in the parish,
City is in the parish.
and
And
we
the
do pay
parish is
parish,
responsible
and
for
we do pay
gravity drainage.
property taxes, and it's $120,000. But I
I know
mean,
it's
but
not a
is
lot of
it,
money,
but you know, we
but it's
did-
in perpetuity.
We do have a
I mean,
13.
the 38,000.
The 38,000, yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. So, but it is gonna benefit drainage, and this is really is a gravity drainage project. We handle draining our roads. But ultimately, in that area, it's gonna wind up ultimately in Coachee-Coulee, and this is gonna hold water
Until it.
for a longer period of time so that Coachee-Coulee can clear out. So it will be beneficial. Like I said, I'm not an engineer, but they're gonna design that so that it benefits.
Well, we've seen the immediate benefit from the detention
Louisiana.
pond that's on Louisiana Avenue. Those neighborhoods that were routinely flooding, it's been working for them.
And if y'all recall on Louisiana Avenue, I mean, they built the detention pond, Gravity Drainage owns and maintains it, but we did participate in part of the purchase price
Purchase of
for
land,
that property.
So,
Well, I was gonna ask that.
so just, we got 3 cards. Think about it till after these 3 cards. Ms. Withers, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Carrie Withers, and I live at 2729 North Gen Wainwright. I'm not standing here in opposition. We, the people in the terrace, wanted to know what the city had plans for the properties. And those 7 pieces of properties that the city and the police bureau are trying to purchase, there are people that are living in those houses. And I doubt, very serious, and some of them have nice houses. I doubt that y'all gonna give them 27,000 or 33,000. This is something that these people have worked for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure that they not just gonna let y'all come and give them peanuts for it. I know I wouldn't. I live back there. And,
Well, just for clarification, Ms. Withers, we are being asked to do that portion for the detention pond and to help with whatever they're gonna pay those 7 people. Now, whether or not, like Mr. Cardone say, whether or not they're gonna buy it out or not,
yeah.
they're only asking for our participation. We don't have no kind of standing with it because we wasn't part of the program.
Right, I understand that, but the people want to know what the city and the police bureau intentions
Right.
about the property back there.
Right.
And because we've been hearing all kind of different rumors.
Right.
And one of the rumors was about the retention pond. And some of them want to know, well, why are we getting a retention pond when they built one on Louisiana Avenue? It was supposed to be, I think, in our area. But they put one on Louisiana Avenue, now they're coming with a second one. So that was our concern.
Yes, ma'am. And it's
So-
right to have that concern.
Yeah.
So, my question is, the parish can't force these people out of their homes neither.
I'm not sure exactly how the parish is, apparently there's been a lot of discussions between the parish and the people, and they just said that this is how much money they need. I don't know if there's additional monies or that's all they have. I would imagine if people are actually living there, they're not gonna sell their home for that kind of price, so we don't, they just asked us to contribute.
I know one lady lived there, and she don't want to move.
Right.
period.
Then she won't move.
And we're not gonna be involved in
Yeah, that's not on us. And the thing is, if they're not gonna move, they're gonna need a detention pond back there.
But going back to what Mr. Wiesenar, I think it would be worthy to have the parish over here to explain this, what we're doing before we.
So you want to defer it?
Yes, I'd rather defer it too, because all I want, like she's saying, these people want to know what's going on, want to update, and we can afford them that.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Withers.
Thank you.
Miles Brown? Okay. Paul Geary?
Good afternoon, Mr. President, guys.
Good afternoon.
My problem is that about
Address.
2205 Highway 14, 70601. I hope I'm in Lake Charles. But anyway, you know, this serious business for me, because the terrace, that's a viable community.
Right.
That community ain't never flooded. I'm gonna tell you what's the problem with all this development going on around here. And I know the first round was the state. They come up with $30 million. Why didn't take some of that 30 million and fix some of this drainage around it? And I'm settling with this guys here. That's the first thing I'm bringing. We paying drainage to the parish and road maintenance. So why we got always put in? They the ones. But you know what? I've been noticing Contraband Bayou been real high. Even on Interstate 10. I know about this waterway. I ain't never seen it that high. It's something when it's high tide. Something going on with this waterway. And one thing I know about drainage, somebody got the flood to save the rest of the people. So you pushing the water back in the city. This in the middle of the city. How in the hell oops, excuse me, y'all. You take that back.
Understood.
It's serious business what we dealing with.
Right.
You're destroying the community. I'm looking at voting strength in our district. We losing people. Where they gonna build, buy some more property with the money they want to pay them?
Right.
To me, this is the second Mossville. Now they want to buy out the problem away when, guess what? They undressed them with these storms and this weather, undressed our local government. What they ain't been doing.
Right.
Caught them with their pants down. So now they want us to be the sacrifice again.
Right.
Well, I'm tired of sacrificing. I'm sure this community tired of sacrifice. So I'm suggesting y'all, I wouldn't go along with that buyout. Because I don't know nothing of parish when these co-op and devil agreements, I ain't never seen where it benefit us in the city.
Right.
It's mostly on their side. So I'm asking y'all not to support that. I don't care if it's $50,000. But what's going on, I see we losing our community. Hey, that's a viable community, man. Been there for years. It didn't flood till the 80s.
Right.
And then it came back to back. It's telling us something they're not doing right with our money.
Right.
So I'm thinking y'all really think this through. Because you're killing the community, you're killing our voting strength in that district.
Right.
And taking the economics out too. We already with no business. Big old raggedy building we got down the street over there. They got one tenant down to one tenant. So something need to be done about that.
All right.
But you know, that's just me. I just appreciate y'all time.
Okay.
But hey, I'm from community, dude.
Thank you, Mr. Geary.
Y'all have a great time. Thank you.
So, Mr. Fundell, you wanna make a motion that is
I want to raise the question for further discussion. Y'all think we ought to let these people know more information?
If you'd like to defer, make the motion and see if you get.
I'd like to make a motion that we defer this.
Well, can I speak first?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I live in District C. I was young enough, I remember the flood in the 80s. I had an Escalade. I went and got people out the last big flood. When they had that flood, these people was terrified. I'm not worrying about, that's the parish buyout. But we need to get this detention pond, where we have another flood, they gonna lose their homes. They're not gonna get anything from it, because the next time, to my understanding, they're not giving you no more insurance after we have another flood, right? FEMA saying a lot of, like, if people came in, if you elected to stay, you might not get flood insurance anymore, right? So that means if you don't have flood insurance and we sitting here arguing with the parish, that we can cause them. No, what, I'm just saying, are we assured that the parish gonna come? I've never saw a parish at the city council meeting.
Well, but we gotta invite them. So we can't just say because they never gonna come or whatever. We need to answer these questions so that we'll know to go forward with the detention pond, because they're gonna do the detention pond. They're asking for our help.
No,
So
sir, that may not be the case.
Yeah.
what?
No.
So our 38,000 gonna stop them?
Well, I don't know. they, originally they wanted us to take this over, the detention pond over, and we negotiated with them and told them no. They're going after a grant. They've got the grant. They're designing it. They're willing to put it out for bids and build it. I mean, I'm not saying they would just walk away from it because they believe it's a good project for the area, and we've had a lot of issues there. But to say that if we don't participate, I mean, it's possible they could say, well, if it doesn't mean anything to the city, it doesn't mean anything to them.
Well, I'm not saying not to participate. I'm saying that we could at least ask more questions, have the parish come here and answer the questions.
I think that's a viable request for them.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
So
when we trying to do this?
Next meeting.
Okay.
I would say next meeting.
And
I'll make a motion to.
We'll invite somebody from the
Okay.
parish to come in.
So we,
You need a second?
You got something?
yes, to the, okay. So we're gonna do, I make a motion that we defer until the next regular
June 3rd.
city council meeting,
June 3rd.
June 3rd, to have a representative from the parish and gravity drainage come and explain to us item number
29.
29. Second? Second by Mr. Vizenow. All those in favor, please vote. I mean, any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Please vote. Number 30, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lake Charles amending Resolution Number 31323 to authorize the City of Lake Charles to modify the location and scope of RCIP LDI City of Lake Charles LCRR Railroad Avenue Revital 0088 in order to transfer funding to the Gospel Community Center to construct a primary community resilience hub in accordance with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development's national objectives for the use of funds at CDBG DR program. Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Good evening again, Councilman. This is one of the disaster recovery RCIP grants that we had. This the original application was for this money to be allocated to Railroad Avenue, and prior to coming in, that project was canceled for whatever reason, and now it's time to get the state a final determination what to do with those funds. Now, I want to make a correction. This is not to build another resiliency center. Right now, there's two primary resiliency hubs that's coming up that the city is going to own in perpetuity to help with recovery. One is the sports complex. The next one is the next item on the agenda. This one is to rebuild the recreation center. If you pull this up, the Gosport, that project had $4 million, between $4 and $3.5 million, because some of the funds is being proposed to fill gaps for some of the other projects that are going through. But what we did was already just this past year, and this summer we're opening up, we put a brand new pool out there at Gosport Recreation Center. And currently we have a new splash pad that's being designed and about to go out to bid because the previous splash pad that was out there was old and antiquated, and they don't make parts for it anymore. Plus, it's located away from the pool area, so we're relocating it right next to the pool area, so you have some consistency there. But the building, the current Gospel Recreation Center that's there, was built in the 1940s. So we're concerned about putting new wine in old wineskins. It's not overly functional. It's a tight building. It doesn't function for what it does. The HVAC, the central air unit, is old, it's outdated, costs a lot of money to operate. For our pool, there's no shower area. And so it gives us an opportunity to do several things. And I'll work with I'll talk to you a little bit about the design of the recreation center itself and then what it affects we think it's going to have in the community. If you look, the current building would be at the bottom, but we want to build a new building at the top of it, and that building is going to be facing Shattuck Street. And if you look at the renderings to the pictures on the right, you can see what that picture would look like, that building would look like. It'd be a new modern building for Gosport Recreation. We would take the playground that's currently on the corner and move it right by the splash pad. So that whole area, you'd have the pool, the splash pad, and the playground. You have seating areas, there's a restroom there. and that whole area would be fenced in so that the only way to access into that area would be through the building. Where the existing building is now is at the bottom, and we propose to take that out, and that was already a proposal to put a putting green, but we want to put in an 18-hole putt-putt course because we think that's going to provide more interactivity for the recreation center. What we're trying to do is make the recreation centers now the centers of the communities where the community gathers. It also has walking paths, new parking lot at the top part, but with the building facing out to Shattuck Street, it makes it more functional. And if you go to the next slide, the inside of the building would stay true. You'd have the gym that you have, so that it will still function as a sports recreation facility, but it's also a place where you can have large gatherings, meeting rooms. I think we had talked about putting in a kitchen in that area, and you would actually have the showers, and everything would be facing out toward the pool area. And because we've been talking with the state about its Grow Healthy Louisiana program, it has a elevated walking track upstairs too, so it should fit a whole lot more needs than what we've done here. Now, the reason, if you can go back to the first slide, the reason why this fits so well is because with the pool in area now, we anticipate a lot of energy there, but around that area, because of the storms and because of this investment, there's a lot of open lots now, and we think that's a great opportunity for some infill development. The fifth floor, the Community Development Department, we've been talking about incentivizing development through our home program, maybe using CBDG funds to help to incentivize private builders to go in and build homes for home ownership and start revitalizing the community. And it makes sense because in these areas we already have roads, sewer, water, electricity, so that infrastructure is there. Most of those properties we have some control over, so we can actually make the margins work for these people and build housing, resilient housing. Most of this area outside the 500-year floodplain, so it makes sense to put that kind of investment in. There's similar effort. This is a variation of the same type of effort that we're putting into the mid-city area, the Choice neighborhood. You know, we're building roads and infrastructure in there, putting in parks, putting in mixed income housing, and stabilizing those communities. And we think there's a chance to do that here, especially with its proximity to the downtown, to the I-10 area, and to the school districts that can serve it. Because eventually, and we think that eventually, once St. Louis Catholic High School moves, and if Hamilton Christian does not stay a high school, you will only have one high school north of I-210, and that will be Washington Marion. So it makes sense that you have schools in that area that we can get this type of investment and development in. So I think it's low-hanging fruit. We did talk to the state about it because the state had indicated that the projects were in place, and we pitched that to them, and they thought it was a great idea. So they said they will support it, but obviously we can't submit that to the state without an ordinance. So I'm asking for your support on that.
So
if there's
we
any
haven't
questions.
submitted it to the state yet?
No, we presented it to the state. We haven't submitted it formally because they said to come back,
So
get an ordinance.
that's how you are changing from you're taking the resiliency hub off.
Yeah, we don't need that to be a resiliency hub because
So this original project was a project that was for the street. Am I right?
You mean the monies?
The money was for the street.
Yeah.
For Railroad Avenue project.
Railroad Avenue, yeah.
So the state is allowing us to do a new project now, create a recreation center.
Well, the reason why they're doing that is because the Railroad Avenue project was canceled.
Okay, so we canceled the Railroad Avenue project, and
No,
the
we didn't
state is
cancel it.
allowing us to create
Yes,
a
we
new
did.
We
project.
canceled it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we canceled the
We
railroad?
canceled the Railroad Avenue project.
That was canceled before I got in office, but it's my understanding that that's
And
been
the
canceled.
state is allowing us to, this is a new project, it's not a modification of an old project, this is a new project. So the state allows us to take GBC money and do new projects.
They said under this circumstance because
Under this circumstance.
yeah, they saw the investment that we had done, And the opportunity for redevelopment in a low and moderate income community. So they said that they would consider that.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm
Sure.
just saying, the state do allow us to do new projects. According to what you've written here.
Yeah, I would say this one in particular, because the head of the Office of Community Development came in, we pitched it, and she said that that's something that they would consider, but we need to get an ordinance, to modify the ordinance that was already in place.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
If it's not if it's a new project, what are we modifying?
With the ordinance, the first ordinance that was in place, apparently there was an ordinance already for Railroad Avenue. So that would require a move, and then because we're not doing a street or whatever streetscape was in that, we're asking them to modify it so that we can build a recreation center.
But this is saying the city of Lake Charles to modify the location and scope.
Right.
So we're not modifying the location and scope. We're doing a whole nother project.
Well, yeah, I think the location has to be in a low and moderate income community.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's the modification. But the scope is not a street anymore, now it's a recreation center.
So that's what I'm saying. So if I'm understanding Mr. Fundale right, let me just ask this question and use your attorney's skills. If I modify something, that's taking something that I already have, reshaping it to do something else.
That's exactly right.
If I have a project that was scheduled to be a streetscape, and now I'm doing a building, that's a new project. That's not modifying that streetscape.
Yeah, and I don't know how to, I mean, that's the wording here, but I don't know exactly how the state is they just said that because those funds were, the project that those funds were dedicated to was canceled, that this could go toward a recreation center under these circumstances.
Okay, so let me just ask you this. When we send the application in, because you did say the application had been sent in, when we sending it in, we sending it in as a rec center.
Yes.
It has not been sent in.
No, we have not sent in, the application has to have an
Just
ordinance.
talked with the state and they gave preliminary without an application, they just gave word, I mean, they just gave general, hey, that is nothing writing nowhere. So it's still in the discussion mode, right?
But no, Mr. Fonda, we've been talking with the state pretty much since I've been in office about all of these projects. I mean, and let me back up a little bit, because the way these funds, these particular disaster recovery funds are, they're a grant from the federal government to the state of Louisiana. So the federal government is the grantor, the state is the grantee, and the city is a sub-recipient, which means the state is entrusting the funds to the city, and we're responsible for those funds.
Let me say for the record, I'm in support of what this thing is, but I want the council not to be, we need to understand clearly how this process works. Now, the thing of it is so the state, that project was squashed before you took office, and it's been there, and it never came before the council. You got to talking with the state and already decide where you wanted to go with it. Then you're coming back to the council to say, let me go with this.
Well, when we first got in, the state told us that if any project was not viable, take the money and put it to another project, another existing project.
But we was under the assumption, Mr. Craig,
We told them, look, we think,
now it's changed.
well, we talked to them about this particular project, and they said, once we told them what we wanted to do and why, the infill development and the potential for that investment in the community, they said, well, that's something that they would consider and take under advisement, but they wanted an ordinance first before they do it.
Mr. Marks, if I offered you could possibly amend the ordinance to say location and nature of our CIP, if that would make the council more comfortable.
Well, I think
in terms of scope and set
I think
of
the
scope.
problem is we've been told on many occasions that OCD is not taking any new projects. So the question is, when did this new project get accepted? Because if the application hadn't been sent in, we sending in a new project, but we being told that they're not accepting new projects.
They told us flat and clear, they're not taking any new projects, that these funds have to be reallocated. But when they came in and met with us, we told them, look, there's other place we can put this, but we thought that this would be better serving the community if we could put that somewhere around that would do that kind of service. So that's,
And I understand that, Mayor, but I'm just getting lost on, we're not accepting any new projects.
right.
Yet we haven't sent this application in, but we finna send it in as a new project. So if they're not taking new projects, how are we gonna get this in? Or is this grandfathered under something else?
No, I would say this. I say for me, I think I was very passionate about telling them how important these funds are, and if they're invested in the right places, that they will do well. This is funds that otherwise you would have the city's responsible for, so they're deferring to us because we're the sub-recipient. So eventually we're going to make this work. They said they know that parks and recreation centers do not generate funds. They're usually just for quality of life, and they understand that in order to do things with a low and moderate income, you need to meet national objectives. Because of the infill opportunities there, right around this park, that's 8 empty lots. That meets the objective of eliminating blight, stopping decay in the community, and getting reinvestment back. So once we pitched that to them, they said, you know what, we'll consider that one, but come back to us with an ordinance for it.
Okay, let me ask you this. When did the deadline hit for no new projects? When did OCD say, hey, we've exceeded that deadline, no more new projects? What was that date?
Well, I defer to Mark knows.
That was initially from the very beginning. Once we submitted we had deadlines to meet. There would be no more, new applications afterwards.
Okay, but has that deadline changed?
No.
So right now, that deadline was when?
Well, I don't remember exactly when, but I mean, you're probably talking now about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so can we have that? Can I have that deadline, whatever that is? Can I have that information about when that deadline was?
I can provide it to you.
Okay.
Did it allow this because there was impediments with the original project? Is that what happened here?
But based upon that, I understand what the mayor's saying.
Yeah.
The other project failed, we moving the money.
Yeah.
What I have a problem with, or what I'm not understanding is, we've been told countless number of times, no new projects. So I'm thinking that we had already sent these projects in, so that's why we were covered. But now that I'm hearing we have no application in, so we send in a new project, unless we got something in writing from OCD that's saying, hey, y'all didn't do it in time, but we're gonna let y'all go past that deadline. That's what I'm trying to find out, because if not, we're gambling on this. Because if we sending in a new project and they say, hey, we're not taking in no new projects according to what y'all saying, we spinning our wheels here. We may need to find another area.
But they told them they can send it in, so they know they can have the new project.
Well,
know
they
can
said,
have it.
no, they said they talked to them verbally.
They know they can have it. The state has okayed them to send in the new project.
That's the state has okayed?
Okay to have a modified application.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a new application, it's a modifying.
No, it's not modified.
It's not modified.
Well, no, well, it's not, it's modifying the application. So it may be semantics, it's modifying the application, but that is resulting in the type of project and the specific location of the project.
No, that's not what this say. This say modify the location and scope. So they're modifying, it's a change of project. It's not a modification.
Well, they're saying the scope of the project, so they're,
Yeah.
we're talking semantics here to some
No, we're not
extent.
talking semantics
It's-
because this ordinance is written by us. This is not OCD writing this.
I understand that.
So what I want to know is OCD gonna say, hey, this project is a new project, we can't accept it, because we're being told that they can't accept no new projects.
Well, they're saying they're modifying the scope of the project so that they're are telling us, or this ordinance, that yes, there is a project and you're modifying the scope of that project. And I don't know that, it sounds like maybe the reason, or what Mr. Stute says, is that the railroad project, for whatever, is not viable.
I agree.
And so then,
you moving the
are you
money.
saying that we need to move it to another road?
No, I'm saying, what I'm asking is, I would understand all of this if the application had been sent in. We have yet to send an application, is what we're finding out tonight.
Mr. Marks,
I would
if
say-
I could make just a quick comment, and really, I think Mr. Stute said, if modify gives y'all heartburn, we could say,
No.
we could say change.
No, modify, that don't give me the problem.
Okay, but let me just finish. And I'll happen to be in a meeting with the head of OCD with the mayor. And they originally said, from what Mark has shared with us, that we could not add any more new projects.
Okay.
In that conversations with the head of OCD, we walked through this, pitched to Gosport. They informed them what we did with the pool and other stuff that we have done at Gosport. She felt it was a good, viable project, and she said, get an ordinance. Now, will they come back and say, you can't do it? But they led us to believe in that meeting, if we get an ordinance, they would approve it. And that's all we can do.
And I understand that perfectly.
Yes, sir.
But all I'm saying is, if this is a new project, which it is, because we're not modifying the streetscape and saying, hey, we're changing it from a streetscape to sidewalks. That would be a modification. We're going from a streetscape to building a new building.
Okay.
That is it, in my opinion, and that's OCD. Unless we can get some clarification from OCD of what a new project is. And I'm only asking that is because we haven't sent the application in.
That's why I'm suggesting, if y'all want, change modify to change, so you're changing the location and the scope. You're not modifying, you're changing it completely.
But even if we do that, Mr. Cardone, even if we change the wording,
Okay.
we still know that the application has not been sent in.
Well,
So if the application hasn't been sent in.
But they told us that
Obviously, you talked to him about, the conversation was about a resiliency center, because that's why you got it in here.
no,
So the conversation with OC at the, why would you just throw resiliency center in the thing?
if you look at the wording of 31 and 32, I think whoever put this in, they just used the same wording. It was always
It was an
a recreation center.
It was a clerical mistake.
Yes,
No,
it's
a
clerical.
clerical mistake adding a whole word called resiliency?
No, what he's saying is there's two projects that are
projects.
adjacent to each other
Listen,
in the
it
agenda.
says in here, construct a primary community resiliency hub, and you're saying it's in this, and you never talked to OC. So we was gonna approve something that you never even discussed.
But I think, and I don't have the agenda in front of me, but you say, the
clarified
next item has the same wording?
Yeah,
as
I
what
clarified
you're
at the very beginning that this
Yes, I mean,
this
but-
is not.
We can approve this, then OC come back and say, no, it's still got to be a resiliency.
Well, we need to remove that from the
But
ordinance.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said at the very beginning that this is not a primary resiliency hub. It's going to be built to resilient standards, but there's only two primary resiliency hubs that we're proposing. The only reason why this one came up is because, and I don't know how OCD makes that determination, but it may have been that because this particular project was canceled, and maybe they felt they had that kind of flexibility. I don't know.
This project was never a resiliency hub.
I'm not saying it's a resiliency hub.
I agree with what you're saying, Mayor, about the wording.
Yeah.
We can correct the wording.
Correct that, yeah. Whether it's a new project or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, application, I was led to believe, maybe it's my misunderstanding or not, that all these projects we done, applications were sent in and they were approved. That's what I was under the assumption. Now I'm finding out tonight, there has never been an application sent in about this. But we being told that you can't send in no new applications. Now we're sending in a new application. I would just like some sort of clarification that OCD is gonna accept this, not just word of mouth, like we asked before, because we might have to do another project.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Did we submit an application for Railroad Avenue?
Yeah, that was apparent in
There
the
was an
first part.
application,
Yeah.
so there is an application for Railroad Avenue.
Right.
It can't be done, so we are
Changing it.
modifying the grant request is being modified, so we do have a grant request. And the OCD is not gonna take any action regarding that
Until they get an
request to
ordinance from us.
change, until they have an ordinance.
Right.
Now, you feel good that they're probably gonna accept it, but they may choose to reject it, which means then we're gonna have to submit.
And that's why I'm asking
We're
about
gonna have to modify it again.
And if I'm talking to the head of OCD, I'm going to presume that she's talking from her authority. But she understood what we were trying to do and why. She understood the pool and the investment that was already put there. And she thought it was a great opportunity to, instead of using a 1940s building, to go ahead and get this place fixed up. And they understood what we're doing in Mid-City and everything else. So this
I agree
makes
with
sense.
you, Mayor, 100%. All I want clarity on, new project. I want clarity on new project, because if we can submit some new projects, then that puts us in a whole different ballgame.
And that may be a matter of
Plan what
timing.
you just shared with me, please.
Well, we were just talking about the ordinance, you know, that they were, as long as you know, to add something, to that list, that original list. We had 14 projects, and I think it's 5 or 6 of them came off for various reasons, that you'd have to submit another, you know, an ordinance to get.
And I get that, and we have to correct this wording.
And
that's
by submitting your ordinance, it makes sure that you check with the council, that the council agree with it. That's why she required the ordinance. If it didn't require an ordinance, that the council, then you wouldn't be asking the council for a vote on it. So by implication, it's saying that she's saying, okay, I agree. Now make sure the council agree with it too. Give me an ordinance.
That's a true statement.
That's
Okay.
true, yeah.
And all I'm saying is,
And
we can
so
change, go ahead.
We could have a new project, and we're not told that information.
I'm agreeing with you, Mayor. We can correct the wording, and we can submit the ordinance. I just want to know, being that we have never sent in an application, because I am positive we were told that applications had been sent in on all of these projects, and now we're hearing nothing has been sent in. So we put ourselves in a position of a new project, which we are being told they're not accepting any new projects.
And look, it could be that they see this as a modification or a revision because the project was canceled. I don't know.
But can we just ask to get some clarity on it in writing?
I think, and the way I've seen with OCD is that they're telling us, get us this in. They like I said before, they're looking at the whole.
I understand what you're saying, Mayor, but for 6 months, I've been hearing OCD tell us this. OCD say we need to get this in. We're willing to get it in. I don't see what's the problem with we're still at an impasse because now we're back to we can't get anything from OCD. That's what it seems like. Go ahead, Mr. Harvey.
I have a question. Point of clarification. Mr. Tisno, you made a comment and maybe I misunderstood, but you said that there's no true deadlines for any of the projects?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that?
No true deadline?
No, I asked.
think Mr.
I
Watts
asked what is the deadline? If we got new projects, what is the deadline?
But there's no, I'm sorry, in that respect, yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know about, you know, there being a deadline.
Okay.
So
And go ahead.
there's no deadlines on any.
I only know of one deadline, and that was the one from the original, and I mean, I can get that for you guys, you know, in the morning, but from the original when we had to submit everything to OCD.
What was the original deadline?
That's what he said.
I don't remember. But I mean, you're talking about 2 years ago now, you know.
That was
now,
on these
so-
14 projects.
That's right, yeah.
So
And
no deadline.
if it
So-
was more than 2 years ago, it was the previous administration.
Well, but that don't change the deadline. It don't.
Oh,
the
no,
deadline.
No, I
for-
agree with
yeah.
that's true.
only reason I'm asking, and I'm not trying to, first of all, let me just, for the sake of staying on task, I'm for this project. I think it's a great project. I think it was a great recommendation. As I've told the administration before, there's a lot of people who in the audience tonight, a lot of people who are gonna listen to this. Like, we do need to be able to convey to the constituents why we're not moving forward with the Railroad Avenue project. I'm for this project. I want to make sure I'm clear with that. I think it's a great project. It's going to be a great asset to District 8. But we do need to communicate with the constituents because we did go on a trail telling people what we were going to do with the Railroad Avenue revitalization. That's for the record. When you said there's the deadlines, the reason why that sparked interest with me is because of other things that we've initiated, not trying to go back in the past. But I was always told that we had to get things done because of a deadline. But now I'm hearing there's no deadline. It's the first time I'm hearing this tonight. So that's why I'm asking for clarity, because if we never had any deadline, you said all the projects, right, that were submitted within this grant.
Yeah, in respect to deadlines, we had a deadline before for all applications. So when he asked about deadlines, about a new deadline, I'm just saying I don't know of a new deadline.
And just for clarity, what Mark is saying, we had original date with the original projects.
Correct.
I understand that. But in the last couple of months, we were told that we can't submit any new projects. And here we come tonight, And in my opinion, we're submitting a new project. So I am asking, if we can submit new projects, what is the deadline? It has to be a deadline now for the new projects. And if it's not, then it's not. But I'm still hung up on the fact that we were told you can't submit any new projects. And to me, this is a new project. No matter how we word it, when it goes to OCD, they gonna see we had money allocated for a streetscape, and now we building a building.
Right, so what they allowing us to do again is to submit a modified application. I
Okay.
understand what you're talking about in
Right.
terms of what it seems like to you.
Mhm.
That's what they allow,
Right.
allowing
And that's
us
all
to
I want is clarity
Right.
from OCD, so
Right.
we don't keep having these discussions.
Mr. Mark, if I could ask you a question. The railroad streetscape project, which we're saying we're not doing, was it part of the original?
Yes.
Yes, it's on that list.
You know, it was what was submitted.
It was a part of the original project.
If what, there has
Not
been
on
an
there, it's not
application submitted.
Part of the original.
Was it really? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Has it been changed once already and then changed
No.
again?
It was on the original.
No, it was,
I don't see it on these 14.
Has this list been changed since it was taken off? Is it possible that Railroad Avenue was taken off?
Just maybe yeah. It's I don't know what he has. I can't see it, but
That's in the back of the book.
Yeah.
it should the original 14. It should be
Shows
there.
the list 2 times. Because when we're talking about these,
And Railroad Avenue's not on either list.
Railroad Avenue's not on
So-
either.
So I'm assuming that was, because I know that Railroad was on the original application,
That's what I'm
so it was
saying. It's already
removed
been-
for some
It
reason.
was.
changed once and changed
I
twice.
think if you look at number 8 on that list, this is not, I don't think this is the original list, because this actually has Gosport on it.
Well, that's another question I got. And it shows it as a resiliency hub. Again.
And I think that could be
And it
modified.
shows number 5, that's a primary community resiliency hub.
I don't have a problem with the wording. Like
No, I know,
Mr.
but it's-
Mr. Stoots, what are those words that you say we can put in there? Rec center and something else you
You
said.
could change it to, I would suggest modify the location and nature of, because you're changing it to a different project.
And more scope is, I mean, if that's what y'all want to change, I'm fine with it. But I think the important thing is that we're modifying a previously submitted application. Now, a question may be from particular councilman is why couldn't we have modified it to have a different project since in your district?
No,
or
and I'm just
my
want-
di-
I just
well, it
want-
couldn't go in my district because I don't think I have
It was
an
already,
area that qualifies.
set for
just
that
want-
particular
I
district.
want
Why would we
to-
move
Oh,
it?
no, but that would,
I want to know at one point of this, for me, all this is Harvey's. So if Harvey fine with it, why are we arguing about something that
Because we're the
Harvey's
city-
fine with it?
Because we're the city council of the city.
Of the
When
city.
they moved the sports complex, everybody voted.
Yes, so we
Okay.
voting again
Yeah.
if Harvey wants it.
Yeah, no, we voting if the council
If
wants.
the council wants.
Yes.
So that's what we call so we can get to a vote.
No, discussion. We got to
Huh?
finish discussion first.
I mean, if you're
I got
ready.
to go see my daddy, y'all.
Well, if you're ready to, you can, well,
I got to see my pops.
Okay.
I understand.
You
I
can
mean,
excuse.
if you want to, we can call the question, you can ask to call the question, and if you get a second, we can, that ends discussion. I'm not, you may or may not want to do
There's
that,
a
but
vote
that's
on
an
that.
option.
You can call a question.
If you want to call the question, if you're ready to vote, and if you get a second, and
If it's modifying it, to my understanding, it was already there, right?
well, it's in the area. It was in the same
area,
council
no,
district,
but
yes.
it was the Railroad Avenue.
That's correct.
They're modifying
street.
it because they already had submitted the Railroad Avenue.
Right.
If you redo it, now it's a new project. They saying modifying because it was already filed for railroad, it wasn't approved, so they keeping it in Harvey District.
But
Well,
it
it's an
wasn't filed.
It's a modified application.
It's
is what-
modifying application. The
is my-
application that changed, it's just modifying it.
It's
we
not
just
a new- It's not a
modifying-
new application, we're modifying a previously submitted application.
The project is being modified, not the application.
Not the application.
Well, the application being modified, or the project is too, but it's not a brand new, it's
I
not
get
a
it.
brand new request. I mean,
Yeah, it's not a brand new request.
It is a brand new request.
You want to vote on it?
It is a brand new request. If you got to fill in the application, if you got to send another application, it's a brand new request.
And I think the language that they're saying is that the city, whatever project they had in there, they want an ordinance where the city is asking, can you modify this? can you modify it to put this in this location for this particular purpose?
Here's the thing,
I don't
Mayor.
know, I don't know how the OCD deals with whether it's a new project or not. This is the ordinance that they requested.
And I'm gonna say it again. I don't have a problem with the ordinance. What I want clarity on, I want people to stop telling me things and come back later and changing it. We've been told you cannot do new projects. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. Oh, we talked to OCD. They told us this. And we still have yet to get anything on paper that would eliminate all of this arguing, all of this talking. We have yet to get anything on paper. We have got nothing on paper.
So what the answer
This
would
is the
be?
way to get
What
it
would
on
you
paper.
want answered to before we can move forward?
No, we can go on and vote on this.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Can
I'm
we
not
vote
gonna
on-
let nobody rush me into doing something because of whatever the reason is. I have been asking for paperwork from OCD since you got in office, and I'm not saying you personally, but that's how long it's been, since the beginning of this term. And we have yet to get paperwork from OCD.
Mr. Marks, what OCD sent us in recently, and I think we shared that with the council, was that they were authorizing a total $58 million grant. This is, whatever this is doing, they're saying send them an ordinance if we want to modify, because Railroad Avenue is no longer a viable project, has been canceled. If we want to move it to that, send them an ordinance where the city is saying to modify it. Now, the head of OCD said that she thinks it's a great project and she thinks it's going to go through. But they're going to do all of this stuff at one time because they've authorized the $58 million. Now they want us to make progress and give them the final projects. Either they're going to say it goes here, or it's going to have to go back to some existing project. That's going to be their call.
Mayor, all I'm asking for is for clarity on whether this is a new project, whether OCD has some documentation they can give us to say, hey, we're gonna go forward with that. I don't have no problem with this ordinance. I just want, when we send this ordinance out, I want the council to receive something, because we've been in limbo for a long time now. We've been going on y'all word. What y'all tell us, hey, y'all talk to them, they say this gonna do this, we went along with it. And now it's getting to the nuts and bolts to where it has to be documentation to support this.
And Mr. Morris, this is a recommendation. I mean, y'all can accept it or reject it. At that point, if you accept it, I send it to OCD, we'll get whatever answer they're gonna give us. If you reject it, then that money has to go somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna take, my vote is to vote for it like it is. So if y'all ready to vote, if y'all ready to rush and vote, let's vote.
Well, no, I want to remove, it's not a primary residual. We need to remove that
It's a
language.
recreation center.
I want to remove that language.
Do you want to make a motion to amend the word primary out of the ordinance?
You can, I think you can take it, you can say it's going to be built to a resiliency standard, which I think we have to do anyway.
Yeah, that's required of any kind of building.
I just say remove anything about because it's
not.
It's not that. And
How about if you just say, to construct a recreation center in accordance with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development's national objectives for the use of funds, because they can determine whether to use the funds.
I'll make a motion to amend it. that
And
language.
this same stuff is gonna be sent in on the application, correct? The exact wording is gonna be sent in.
That's between the
ordinance is going
Yeah.
The ordinance goes, the exact
But I'm
ordinance.
saying it's gonna be the same wording that we voting on here.
Yes.
That's correct. That's what's going to.
So what is the ordinance gonna say?
Instead of saying community center to construct a primary community resilience hub, the proposed amendment is to change to say to construct a recreation facility in accordance with the United States Department of Housing.
So, Mr. Harvey, this is what you wanna do?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm letting that be clear. I mean, I said that from the beginning. I'm for the project. We having a lot of discussion. I just want to say this so we can move forward to vote out of respect to Mr. Bilbo and his father. Listen, we can eliminate a lot of this frustration that's happening tonight if we go back to what I said about 6 months ago. There should be no reason that we, as the governing body of the city of Lake Charles, cannot have direct conversations with OCD. We can't, according to what the administration is saying, we can't talk to them. We can't receive any official documentation. There needs to be a direct line instead of the he say, she say, because as the governing body, if we're being here to cast a vote tonight, what I'm hearing from all the councilmen, and I sat back and listened intentionally, is frustration off of he say, she say. We need a direct line to be able to communicate with OCD, to be able to tell us what we can and cannot do. Because if I'm listening to everybody correctly tonight, this was said before, this was not said before. Just give us something on paper or let us be able to talk to them directly. That way, everybody's fact checking, we transparent, and we not having this tonight on one particular object. I move forward that we go ahead and vote, but as a District 8 representative, I'm in full support of this project. Can we please move forward?
Well, I like to,
vote on the
I like to,
amendment.
I like to, I hope, did I get a second on my motion to change that language?
Second.
Okay.
You have to vote on the amendment.
Vote on the amendment.
Vote, please vote for the amendment and vote as amended.
It's 6
Well, yeah, so who didn't vote on the amendment?
on the amendment.
Was it Mr. Vizino or Mr.?
Trevino didn't vote on the.
I think
voted-
it didn't
Against
register.
No.
the amendment.
Yeah, it voted no.
It voted no.
It showed 6 in favor,
Yeah.
1 against on the
Voted-
amendment.
His
who
vote is his
voted?
vote.
I thought it was no vote. Who voted against?
No, it was Mr. Vizino.
Mr. Vizino
Oh, he
said-
voted again. Okay, I'm sorry.
So the
Please-
amendment
We're
carried
gonna do it
6 to
again.
1.
Please vote on the amendment.
Oh, we're voting on the amendment. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, it's still 6-1.
6-1.
Mr.
Now vote
Vizino.
as amended.
6-1, Mr. Vizino.
Number 31, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lake Charles amending resolution number 313-23 to authorize the City of Lake Charles to modify the location and scope of RCIP LDI City of Lake Charles Second Harvest 0084, and further authorizing the purchase of a vacant lot, parcel number 00751405, from Immaculate Heart of Mary Roman Catholic Church to construct and own a primary community resiliency hub in accordance with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development's national objectives for the use of funds from the CDBG DR program. Any questions or comments?
Now, this is a change again, right?
Yes, another change.
Another change, just like that.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not gonna get long.
Oh, wait, excuse me. The mayor wanted to make a
If I can make
presentation.
my
I'm sorry,
presentation.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
Okay.
My bad, I'm sorry.
This is another RCIP project, and this time, this one was actually originally authorized for Second Harvest to build a facility off of Legion Street. Second Harvest did not meet the qualifications to receive these funds, and that was disqualified. So we did request of OCD to do one thing differently. Instead of having a recipient or somebody recipient, that these funds stay in control of the city. And the reason why we did that was because we wanted to put up another resiliency hub that the city owns in perpetuity. If you know, most of these projects, the way that the projects were set up, they were set up where the city would provide the grant monies for projects that would be built, and then once the HUD closed their books on this, those facilities would go over to whoever was awarded those projects. Because of what happened with Second Harvest, instead of going out and finding another subrecipient, we did request that they do not have a subrecipient, and that the city itself does this one, for the most important reason is that we wanted a second primary resiliency hub. If you look at agenda item number 31, and this goes back to the Just Imagine plan. In the Just Imagine plan, we hired UDA to come in and come up with a 50-year resiliency plan. On the next page, it talks about one of the catalytic projects was community resiliency hubs. And these are places that are supposed to be hardened structures that can withstand 140-mile-an-hour hurricanes and go into areas where you can stage recovery, because as you know, we suffered in Hurricane Rita in 2005, and that was supposed to be the once-in-a-lifetime storm. In 2020, we had Hurricanes Laura and Delta, and obviously we realized that we have to build resilient communities, because even though we can't control these storms, we can control our recovery if we strategically put resiliency hubs in places that can help supply, support, and help people recover in these storms. Strategically, those are supposed to be put near high access areas, I-10, 210, those types of areas, because those, when you have these kind of storms, it's not hard to access those. The National Guard, everybody else comes in and access those places. We had one that SWA Center for Health Services wound up being a recovery center because the MLK Center was down, Allen August Center was down, all these areas were down, and we found that the area that in the Just Imagine plan talked about was in most vulnerable area because it had a lot of high rental areas. And what happened was we found that when these storms hit, the landlords who own these properties, if their homes are devastated and they've got renters, they have to make a quality decision. Do I take care of the place where I lay my head, or do I take care of somebody else's place? And given the devastation that we experienced, a lot of them decided we're going to take this money and put it where I need to take care of my family. As a result of that, we had a lot of people that were displaced and never came back because wherever they went, life had to continue on. They couldn't even afford to come back. As we began recovering, and I was part of the recovery in my law practice because we represent a lot of businesses. As those businesses were coming back and recovering, they ran into a situation where they didn't have enough workers because all the workers had left. Most of the workers had left, and that hampered the recovery. So strategically, the idea now is to place community resilience hubs throughout the city in strategic places on major thoroughfares for major staging and nearer communities so that the locals can get recovery. So the opportunity presented itself, and in that page, in that plan, they had the Gosport area because that was the most vulnerable area, and it was easily accessible because it's right near I-10, and they picked a 4.7 acre tract of land that was next to SWLA Center for Health Services for several reasons. One is because that center was a recovery center, not only for hurricane recovery, but because we're in the middle of a pandemic, it was a health center, and they had telehealth and all these other resources that were available. It was the proximity to the I-10 made it easy to supply because 18-wheelers were coming in, people were staging, and they also said that because of the way that SWLA operates, they had administrative staff that dealt with federal funds and had the administration that could handle these types of things. One of the things that we wanted to do is make sure that we could put up resiliency hubs in places, but in blue skies, have those operate so those places can be self-sustaining so we don't have to start pulling monies from the general funds to take care of those. And there's a lot of nonprofits, a lot of people that do a lot of things in the communities. They cannot afford brick and mortar, but they're looking for places to house their programs. So, and we've been talking with people like the YMCA, like I said before, the Grow Louisiana, and a lot of other nonprofits about doing these things. So it just made sense that this location made sense. So we went and looked at it and saw that that SWLA had already been talking to Immaculate across the street that owns the property. That's the former Cherry Street Elementary School. They've always had a partnership because where SWLA is currently, that used to be the old Washington High School football stadium, and they all split the school board apparently split those properties with them. So when they saw what was the staging was being done, and they heard that they wanted to try to do something that would help the community recover without affecting their health care, then they said that, well, we'll work with you on trying to get you this property. Now, currently, SWLA, even though they were devastated and they really took care of the community, they're now in the process of rebuilding. The building to the left of that screen is gone, and they're currently rebuilding a $26 million state-of-the-art healthcare facility there. The 4.7 acres, in 2003, they had gotten an appraisal, and that appraisal was shared with the owner, Immaculate. Immaculate understood the mission and decided to price the property well below the appraised value.
23 million, you said 2003, 23.
2023, that's right. 2023 so that process has always been in place, but we looked at it as an opportunity to put this to fulfill the Just Imagine plan and partner with SWLA but that would be something the council would have to. But the primary thing is to build a resiliency. It's a grant that has to be used anyway. Build a community resiliency hub that the city owns in perpetuity. It's never going to anybody else, and we'll always have that there in that area. And in the meantime, we start looking at the other areas to start putting other resiliency hubs to make sure that we can recover in any event, not just hurricanes, freezes, floods, any type of things. Those can help our communities come back better. So this is a proposal that was made. It was based upon the Just Imagine plan. It's something that, again, we talked to OCD about that, and they thought that was a good project. They agreed with us not to have an awardee, so we don't have anybody else to deal with. This would be. There's two of these projects that would be the city's forever. The sports complex as a resiliency hub. This as a resiliency hub, one on this side of, by the I-10 area, that and on the other side, in the previous place at Legion, where Legion Street is, we've been already talking with Chenault because Chenault and Sewella have facilities that are set up to be recovery places, and you already have the National Guard stage there. We're also looking at places like Ward 3 Recreation, other places on 210 route, and then start bringing those kind of facilities into the neighborhoods. So this is part of an ongoing effort that this administration has undertaken to strategically place these buildings in a place that can help give us recovery no matter what we're facing.
Okay,
Mr. Weatherford?
It's and what Southwest is building is going to be built to be, is going to be strengthened, and it's
Yes.
going to sustain.
Yes.
140, I don't know, it'd be 1 foot, but it's going to sustain a very high impact hurricane, and so people will be going there to get their health care. So it is a good location in that respect. People are going to be going there for that, and they will be able to, there'll be, I guess, supplies have come out of there and some just different things.
Yeah, you got supplies coming out of there.
So they building a resiliency hub already, a $40 million resiliency.
No,
hub.
They're building their health center resilient.
It's not going to withstand the hurricane. Then if it don't withstand the hurricane,
No, it will, no.
then they won't be operating.
No, it's not a resiliency hub because the city doesn't control it.
It's not a resiliency hub for us, but I'm sure they're not just going to build a building that's not going to.
No, by new law, all new structures has to be built to say resiliency. If you're using state money,
So if that's the truth, if they building a
To my
$40
understanding.
million thing, then they already
but that's
have a
office
$40
buildings.
million
But
resiliency.
it's not.
26 million, 26 million.
It's not a hub, it's going to be a medical
We
facility.
can't, that's their private, that's their private. What happened during,
But he just said that they gonna support the community
Here's
already.
what happened during the
With
hurricane.
healthcare.
Here's what happened.
Hold on,
wait,
hold on one
here's what
second.
happened during the hurricane. Their building on the left was totally devastated. They had moved all their healthcare into the middle part of the building, and as they were staging community recovery, they found that the patients, it interfered with their ability to see their patients, HIPAA, everything else. So it compromised their ability to deliver healthcare in an area that needed healthcare. So that's why they were already talking about putting something separate there that they could help stage those recoveries, because they understood the value, because most of the municipal facilities were not working. So and as part of the Just Imagine process, it just made sense. You got healthcare, you've got staging recovery, you got proximity to the interstate, and you're in a very, very vulnerable community.
I don't have a problem with SWLA running this resiliency hub that the city gonna own, but this is Area B's. This money was assigned to Area B, and we taking it from Area B and moving it to Area A. Area A also has another resiliency hub that you just downgraded. When the Hope Center sent in for their application, they were required to be, and today are required to be, a resiliency center.
Well, and can I
Go ahead.
just the only problem with that is that under the RCIP, the Hope Center, the Teen Center, Stark's Nest, when HUD closed out their books, the city won't have those as resiliency hubs anymore. Those revert to those owners.
But
this particular facility would be the city's resiliency hub
The city
forever.
won't own the resiliency center that we're building downtown in Area A?
Yeah, we will.
That would will. That would will.
Downtown, yeah.
So Area A has one, right? But the funds are coming out of District B that don't have a resiliency center. Now, you just gave Mr. Harvey, out of respect for who it was already in his district. I'm asking the council to give me the same respect. This was money that was being spent in District B.
So, Mr. Fondell, just, that's a common misconception when it comes to these federal funds, even our regular entitlement money. Nothing is ever designated for a particular district. What happens if a project is required?
So that was different just for Area A? That was different?
No, what I'm saying is, if a project has to be in an area where that's considered low to moderate income, which is this, all of these projects are like this. It's not that the project is being put there because it's district, is because that is an area that, you know, is eligible to have it in.
Yes.
So there's no such thing as
But
somebody
I have
saying,
low to moderate income. Mr. Tommy have low to moderate income. Mr. Craig has low to moderate income. They don't have resiliency centers,
Not yet.
you know. So why are we putting another one here? Now, and SWLA, the city gonna own it, so the city can put it where it wants. And if SWLA wanna run it, they can run it from anywhere.
I just want to stress that it's not per district. We never do anything because
But
of a certain
man,
district.
but with the council, I'm respecting their district where money was, whether
committed by
the
the
government
city.
did it. You know, we try to respect each other's district.
But I think what he's saying, Mr. Fundell, it's not, the money is not assigned to a district. It follows a project. So if that project moves, the money goes with it. It's not to a district.
Yes, but I'm just saying that project was in District B.
Okay.
Just like this project was in and that's all I'm saying.
The
If
original
council
project is what you're talking about.
Don't want to take the money from District B and not consider that, then the council has that choice.
Well, but the council didn't make this decision. The administration moved the project.
But we know now, right now, we know that project could be put anywhere.
Yes, that's correct.
And the project originated in District B, right? And that's what I'm
Are
saying.
you talking about Second Harvest? It was originally, it was
Second
here.
And I got a question about Second Harvest. It was disqualified by the state, Second Harvest. You said the project was disqualified. Did the state disqualify Second Harvest?
The federal requirements were that you could not be involved in a federal action. That was a bankruptcy, a couple of bankruptcies that came into play that disqualified them from receiving these particular federal funds.
So did the state said, listen, you cannot, Second Harvest cannot do this, they are disqualified? Did the state say
Federal
that?
government said it.
The state through the federal government said that they agreed that Second Harvest was disqualified as a recipient of these funds, and then told the city that we could use those funds and we did not have to find somebody else to award them to.
So just for clarification on what Ms. Fundell's saying, we have documentation showing where OCD says Second Harvest is disqualified.
Where's Mark? Because Mark's handling all this stuff, you know?
Mark, do we have documentation showing where the state said that Second Harvest was disqualified from receiving those funds for their project?
No, they wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't provide anything like that.
Well, how do we know that the state
was
disqualified them?
Well, I can tell you, they sent us information saying that you can go forward without awarding the monies to somebody
Yes,
else.
they can tell us we can go forward, but you said that Second Harvest was disqualified. So that means we send in a project, in my interpretation, and the state said, look, Second Harvest is disqualified. We cannot give them the money. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, so originally, just want to go back, just clarity. In the beginning, Second Harvest was up here in District A in the Rhine Street area, you know, right up here.
Yes.
The owner decided not to, he
Yes.
changed his mind about selling the property. So it was, you know, the Second Harvest people had negotiated with a property right off of Legion Street on by 210. We never actually submitted an application for that location. It never even got that far, because they struggled trying to come to an agreement to purchase the property.
Yes, but that Mark, I understand what you're saying, but the project at the end of the day was in District B. The history is the history, but the project was in District B, all I'm saying is they got all I'm saying is I'm against this because it's District B. I'm not requesting that you put it in District B. It could go any unqualified area, but we don't need all the resiliency hubs in one area.
And let me say
I agree with
that,
that.
that's two resiliency hubs that the city has absolute control over. That would be the second one. And wherever we go after that, I'd like the city to have complete control over them, because all of this money is going out to all these different places. In 3 to 5 years, the city's not gonna have these facilities anymore.
The city will have control whether it's in area A, B, C, D, F, or G.
And Mr. Fonda,
The city still would have control.
and with all due respect, I really am not looking at this from a district to district standpoint. It really is.
We are,
where
but my people
I
have to
get,
cross
wait,
through.
if you don't
Okay.
mind,
I'm
all
sorry.
all I'm saying is that strategically,
Yes.
strategically, when these storms come in, they're not looking at a district. They're
Yes.
hitting the entirety of the state, of the city. If you have a hub here that can service this area, that is still in the LMI, that services that area. You have monies for Purple Heart that we purchased the property on Broad Street. We can put that there. I mean, I want to put these resiliency hubs near places where they can stage and get supplies out to people in their most need. That's why they invest in government. So I'm not looking at it from a district standpoint. I'm looking at it as, how do we, as One Lake Charles, recover the next time
But
this
I'm
happens?
looking at it from, okay, you through?
I'm through.
Okay, I'm looking at it from District B had money for a resiliency hub. I represent District B. And in order for my low to moderate income, they either gotta walk to the Civic Center or cross 2 bridges to get to SWLA if they don't have cars. And for now, they have 2 resiliency centers. They have Greater St. Mary and downtown already taking care of that area. So if we're gonna wait on anybody, let's wait and give North Lake Charles an additional one. Give my people a chance to have one right now. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you're saying that you're gonna find them, but this money was allocated for District B, you know.
Let's find out.
And I'm saying, give us an opportunity.
I'm just making a recommendation.
Mr. Mayor,
Can
I
ask a question?
Let me ask you a question. And the Purple Heart money was originated from where?
That was from, by Chenault. That place.
Well, I
is
know, but where did the funds come from?
FEMA. That's FEMA funds.
Majority FEMA insurance.
Okay. Does FEMA have any opposition, I'm just throwing this out there, to turn Purple Heart into a gym and also qualify as a resiliency center? It's a brand new building, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can
We
we
can use
build
that.
it and be the resiliency center for that district?
Yeah, and that's $7 to $9 million that's available for Purple Heart.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. There are 7 districts.
But, okay, you
But
gonna
if we're
take-
getting ready to build a
but-
building,
but-
no, I get it. I
But
get
you
it.
take it, so you got $30 million give me some money from somewhere. You're taking money out of my district.
I agree, but we're about to build a new building, that's all I'm saying, and we can.
In regards to, yes,
Can
Mr.
I
Harvey.
ask a question?
Hold on, Mr. Harvey was first.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It sounded like what Mark said is that, well, that there was never, I think that Purple Heart makes sense, and we're going to build it to a standard that will withstand a hurricane. If it's going to be a gymnasium, or that's a great staging area to have that, to be a resiliency hub, and it's going to be built to withstand. I mean, so there will be a resiliency, and the money's already in place to build it. And if also what Mr. Tisno said is that the Second Harvest project was on Legion Street, which is in District B, was never submitted.
It was.
No, he said he wasn't.
He said it wasn't. It was submitted for Ryan Street, and whoever owned the property decided not
Come back and
to
tell
sell
me.
it. So it was not submitted for Legion Street, is what Mr. Tisno said.
It was never submitted for Legion Street because they never got far enough in it to that, not even the purchase property, have a, what do you call the things?
Buy-sell
Property
agreement?
Purchase.
Buy-sell agreement.
They never got that far.
But that's good, then it don't owe it to District B, but it's still another resiliency center for North Lake Charles.
Can
But-
I make a statement? And then I can move that we can vote.
Go ahead.
All right. So, let me just be clear. I'm for this project. And I know that's gonna sound selfish tonight, but I'm for this project for many reasons. We're gonna be in here all night if I give you all the reasons I'm for. What baffles me tonight is that I'm hearing councilmen saying it's another thing in District 8. Let's be mindful that the reason that District 8 got the other hubs is because this council voted for it to come to District 8. When you got the one at the indoor facility, this council voted to put that down there. So I get that y'all saying I wasn't disrespectful to anybody else. I get that y'all arguing about territorial things, but let's keep in mind what got us to this point. Why you feel the way that District 8 has so many is because previously you voted to put those things in place. I'm ready to vote. Everybody vote the way they want to. I am in full support of this project.
I'd like to make a
Can we
comment
please
if I
move forward?
I wanna say, me, I would rather, cause for one, if we get into the conversation, we're gonna get into not having appraisals and all that. And Mr. Matt Young had to go, so I'm saying let's defer it till the next meeting.
I agree.
Defer to the next meeting, so before we start getting into appraisals, you give us 2 weeks so you can get all this in. Cause Mr. Matt had the gun on something this serious. I would rather the whole council be here to vote, cause it's one city. He had to leave. I miss mine. My mom calling me right now. Let's might as well just wait and vote on it next council meeting.
Mark, do we have time? I second that motion. I second that motion.
I thought we had a deadline.
Do we have time?
We have time? 'Cause
Oh, yeah, we just said that.
No, the government is the state is waiting, I mean, they,
Well, I'm gonna say this before we go further
State-
to
the
what
state
Mr.
is-
Bilbo is saying. First of all, an application has not been sent in for this.
Yeah, so it can't be no end.
Again, it's a new project. And I don't care what nobody say, it's a new project because it wasn't nowhere else before. So it's a new project. It's a new project. Again, we were told you can't submit new projects, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Second of all, what Mr. Bilbo touched on is appraisals. I'm not for doing this project.
My mom just called me, man.
I'm not for doing this project without an updated appraisal.
That's good.
and look, I would suggest that you make that a condition of the purchase of the property. I mean, that would have to happen anyway. If we have to update the appraisal and buy it for appraised value, that's gonna happen anyway. We're not gonna do it otherwise.
Can we defer this to Tuesday?
I called the vote.
You called the vote, but the vote is to the question of what? Deferring?
No. On the amendment.
You have to have a second, and then you
Right
have to
now.
vote on the question.
But you got two of us missing.
That's all right.
You have to have a second for his motion, call
I know it
the
still makes
question.
a quorum, but.
Yes.
And one of them.
I'm not gonna-
Can I get a
But-
second? Can I get a second?
Mr. Marks, if I might, Mr. Ville just let me know, we did have a first and a second on the deferral already. And who was it?
Mr. Bilbo and Mr. Fondell voted for deferral. You seconded
So
that.
we didn't vote on it though, so they're ready
No,
to
but
vote?
Well, no, I'm just
you
letting
got,
you know there was a first and a
what
second.
they're saying, you got
without
a
vote.
motion and a second on the floor for deferment now.
Okay, so-
Now, that we vote. That's what
So we're
you're
making, we're
saying, you
voting
vote.
to defer.
Okay. Voting for the deferral.
5-4.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The following resolutions may be adopted by consent. A resolution accepting project number, anybody got anything they want to pull? No?
No.
32, a resolution accepting project number LCR 409 Buddy Prejean Park enhancements as substantially complete and authorizing the advertisement of the 45-day lien period. A resolution accepting project number PR 0002 North Beach restroom replacement as substantially complete and authorizing the advertisement of the 45-day lien period. 34, resolution accepting project number CP 3003 Lakefront signage Phase 1 as substantially complete and authorizing the advertisement of the 45-day lien period. 35, hearing date 35 through 41 is July 1st, 2026. A resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of a structure located at 922 Gulf Street. Burn structure, Benny Patrick Morrow owner. 36, a resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of a structure located at 1703 Winterhalter Street. Bradley Joseph Calais, Armentine Pete, Armentine Pat, Henry Joseph Calais Jr., Luda Marie Calais, Mary Calais Savoy, Louis Calais, Ruby Marie Calais, Adelaide Joseph Calais, Gustain Calais, James Philip Calais, Adelaide Broussard, Norris Calais, Audrey Mae LeBlanc, and Marjorie Senegal owners. 37, a resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of a structure located at 2005 7th Avenue, Teresa No Middle Name Vital Baldwin owner. 38, a resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of a structure located at 2007 7th Avenue, Demetrius Antoine owner. 39, a resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of a structure located at 605 South Franklin Street, Norma Godwin owner, subject to a tax lien held by the City of Lake Charles. 40, a resolution setting date for public hearing on condemnation of two structures located at 210 Cherry Street and 212 Cherry Street, Benjamin Guillen Jr., Willie Mae Jackson, Chester Guillen, Claudette Mae Guillen, Franklin Guillen, and Margaret Haley owners. 41, a resolution setting date for public hearing, condemnation of a structure located at 2436 Poplar Street, John Ladd, James Lee White, Charlie Carter, Willie Rogers White Jr., Marie Thomas, Samuel White Estate, Florence E. Esprit, and Bertha H. Davis owners. Please vote. The following ordinance are for introduction by consent and will be read into the record the day following this meeting at 11 a.m. in the City Council